everybody! Friday night is roundtable night. Sorry about that. I've been so used to it being on Thursdays, but no, it's Friday night, so don't be worried. It is now roundtable night. Welcome everybody. Thank you all for coming. And once again, I have to say hello to my co-host Sophie B.
Hello.
And Haverock.
Hello, everybody.
That was an absolutely wonderful performance there, Have. But for those of you
I know. I'm practicing.
Yeah, no, absolutely good. You love that voice box too much. But yeah, so the purposes of the round table, for those of you who are new to the channel, first of all, welcome for joining us. It gets a chance for you to support the channel in a much more direct way. It really does help, especially since now it's July and the CPMs have automatically tanked by half without me doing anything. But it also helps us get a good idea about what you guys are thinking in terms of what-ifery. So we always take note of what's being said in the chat. So even if you aren't able to do a super chat, which is the way we can see them best, we take notes of what is being said in the chat, and it may make it into a video in some shape or form. So what you say will count. So let's kick things off with Viper Phoenix with, what if Saiyans spoke a different language and Vegeta and Nappa had to use their scouters to communicate? Also, Vegeta had to learn to speak Earth language. Well, it's one of those things that I think Doctor Who did it the best, that the TARDIS automatically translates things around it. So, in a way, being able to get around that. But in Dragon Ball, it's just like, you know, English or Japanese is the common tongue. And you think, oh, that's very convenient. I didn't know Japanese was being spoke across the universe.
When Toriyama remembers, sometimes it is a plot point, but most of the time he doesn't. So.
Yeah, with Namekian, they do speak Namekian. They have a language of their own, but they just so happen to speak English as well, which is rather convenient. So I imagine probably if the Saiyans could not talk, like, you know, if they could not, speak English, they'd probably be more intimidating because, like, our Earthlings wouldn't be able to understand. And then basically, like, it'd be like Nappa having to press the scouter and start translating, and they'd be like, "Hey Vegeta, I can fly. Ah no, my face, my precious modeling career." Just the MLG voice, or something like that. Or so basically, it'd be, but in reality, it would have that disconnect and unfamiliarity, which probably make them more intimidating. But you probably
it's
can have
over 9,000.
Oh, But with Vegeta, you could easily have a funny little arc of him actually being at school learning English. Like, him really struggling to learn it. You could easily have a funny little, cute little subplot there. Yeah. Garcia XV Legend, thank you very much for your becoming a member. Thank you. Red Dragon Force 2 shared a pic to the FB community tab, and I saw that. That was basically face masks made out of bacon. And I think that is a splendid idea. Because think about it. You use it for the day. You use it for the day, and at the end of the day, instead of throwing it in the trash, you eat it. Or, you cook it, obviously.
Except the problem is that if the day is anything other than freezing cold, you're going to wind up with rotting bacon on your face for most of the day.
That is a downside, yes, but if it basically, Red Dragon Force says, "Goku, I love these masks." Yes, now I have an alternate means for using my pocket bacon. You just gotta make sure your pockets are clean. That's just so you know.
Oh my god.
Goku approves. Viper Phoenix, I posted an image in the Discord of this, so not much of a what if, but have you ever noticed how Saiyan armor looks similar to Namekian arm patches? That is a very good point. Like, the torso bits do look like the Namekian things, but based on the fact that this is anime, it's probably all a little bit of a coincidence. So
it's a total Toriyamaism as well, because you see that on like a lot of characters that he designs, like the whole if they're referring to like the lines and stuff that's in like the Namekian muscle, the Saiyan armor, it's also present in like almost all of his robot designs, and like if anything is bug-like or chitinous, he usually puts those on there to like represent like the hardness of their outer exoskeleton.
Right.
It's a total Toriyamaism.
But that being said, you are right. It does look very familiar, but unfortunately, that's just a design choice. But you are right. Aesthetically, they are very similar. And Nerd King
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I just said yeah.
Oh, okay. That's sorry. It sounded like there was going to be more. But anyway, the Nerd King.
Oh,
Thank
no.
you so much for your big contribution, dude. Good to see from you. Hey, how are
Hey.
you? We're doing very good. I got some Sir Goku questions. What would Goku's name be in this medieval world if he got a sword? What would it look like and be named as? Third, if he had an OC love interest, what would she be like? Probably be like this damsel in distress, pretty much like how like Chi-Chi was originally. And I imagine he'd be Goku and the Black Knight, because Sonic did it. Why can't Goku? Because
He will be Sir Gokart.
yeah, Sir Go-Kart. Yeah.
Sir Go-Kart.
And also we can do something more interesting with his love interest and make her more of a Princess Fiona situation.
Ah,
So
yes,
a badass princess that acts like a damsel in distress, but when she loses her patience, she kicks some major butt.
Yeah, and then basically in a way that means Goku would be singing along. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. So, what are you doing in my forest? Because I'm really lonely. How are you doing?
We would call her Chisinella.
Chisinella. Aha,
Chisinella.
nice. And it's like, and Frieza would like be, some of you may die, but that is a risk I am willing to take. Okay. Alright, John Coleman. What if... Oh, thanks very much, Nerd King, as well. John Coleman. What if Goku had Gohan's potential of growth? Well, I play the bad end sound for the plot. I would say goodbye for the plot, because basically, you know, the stakes would be absolutely ridiculous. And if he actually got the chance for Guru to unlock his potential, then it would be even more unfortunate for the plot. Red Dragon Force 2, saying, Sophie, I read your fanfic and loved it. Izumomo.
Yeah, thank you. I've actually been working on the next chapter on and off. It's just I gotta really muscle through breaking that writer's block wall, and then after that, I mean, I've got an entire outline for the fic to the UA entrance exams. So if you enjoyed it or you've read it, please check it out, and I'll be updating it soon.
Right on. And hey, Yash and Silversmith, good to see you guys in the chat. You are members. Very much welcome.
Welcome.
Red Dragon Force 2, on behalf of Thunder Susan, says, what if Roshi fused with Elder Kai? Oh, man. Then Elder Kai would look even more decrepit, and also be the ultimate lech of the entire universe, because Elder Kai and Roshi, oh my god. You know, nobody would be safe.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, no, that would not work well at all. Manifesto, what if Piccolo trained on Yardrat during the 3-year time skip before the androids and before fusing with Kami? Would he be the best student before Vegeta? Oh yeah, totally. In terms of meditation, he'd probably get that done in like a couple of months, because it's like, you know, Pibara's like, oh my Piccolo, you're absolutely astounding when it comes to meditation. Oh, well, I just picked it up. It's totally not the only thing I do. And Nell's like, that is a lie. That's a bald-faced lie. That's all you do. Shut up, Nail. So, but yeah, no, meditation is his thing. And basically the training in Yardrat would actually be really beneficial for Piccolo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
and also Piccolo needs to only sustain on water.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means that,
yeah, not a drain on resources either. So, absolutely splendid.
I mean, better storytellers would use that.
Yeah. But no, he would definitely be the best student, certainly. Red Dragon Force says on behalf of Thunder Student, what if Beerus had Shenron fuse Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, Roshi, and Hercule permanently, wanting a laugh or a challenge? I mean, yeah, he's eccentric. Oh, so Beerus just did this on a whim and just like told Beerus, hey Shenron, why don't you just fuse the Earthlings together and give me something to do on a Thursday? It is dawn. And then basically just fuse them together. Like, he doesn't really care how it does, but Beerus would just find it funny. But the thing
I mean, I don't know how powerful would that ultimate human
Oh, it doesn't
being.
matter. The Beerus, you know, this the whole thing is about this is Beerus, you know, wanting a laugh, so it'd be funny. So, oh my god! I mean, look at that afro moustache. It's on a tiny little man with 3 eyes. Oh, that's really funny. Oh, that's funny. So, it would be for gags, pretty much. And Red Dragon.
So are you not, since we made you laugh, are you not going to destroy our planet? Oh no, I'm definitely still destroying your planet.
Oh no! Only when I find this not funny. At the moment, I'm finding this utterly hilarious. Red Dragon Force on behalf of Darth Method. So, Metool. What if Goku wished Bulma to be his biological sister? Using the same logic as Krillin becoming a Saiyan, where Saiyan interprets it. So basically, it wouldn't really. I mean, it basically. So yeah, it's like with Goku wishes Bulma was like a sister, but doesn't realize that he's a Saiyan. So basically, then Bulma becomes a Saiyan without her knowing it. I mean, she'd have a prodigious brain, but then she would have these kind of like animalistic tendencies, and then grow a tail for some reason. I mean, she'd be freaking out. I mean, Goku would be freaking out too. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he'd have no clue. But then Bulma would have to like go, well, wait a minute. I need to find out what's going on here. So, basically, she'd take this as an experiment, but also be rather freaked out. But then at the same time, yeah, I imagine if she injured herself and then had like a mini Zenkai or something like that, she'd actually feel really vitalized and be like, I don't know. She'd be like really kind of interested by it. It'd be like an intriguing thought experiment.
You know, Shenron could be always be like, she's already kind of your sister. The bloodlines doesn't matter.
She's been with you for a long time, therefore figuratively, she is your sister, but alright, why not? It seems fun.
Family is not simply in the blood.
Well, Shenron, what's your family like? I don't have one! I wish I did.
I only have my Turk brother on Namek, but he was bullying me for having bigger abs than me.
And then Kami creates me or summons me here, and I don't really get a chance to socialize.
Oh, Shenron, don't worry, pal. I'm sure there'll be other people. You can come to Namek and meet Purunga.
Really?
Uh-huh. He'd be really happy to see you. He's got really cool hands.
Alright. That sounds alright. Yeah.
Oh
Alright.
my god.
Alright, Manifesto. What if Gine and Good Boy Raditz' what ifs were in the same universe? How well would you get along with Ranch? Best grandma and best granddaughter? Oh, absolutely. Oh, but they'd be getting on. And I know that's what the fandom wants, but I ain't giving it to you. Because everybody wants it. Everybody wants it. Like, seriously.
Everybody wants. Yeah, you're Masako's holding it in an emergency glass case for if his channel starts to suffer. He's like, one day maybe, but for now it remains
Today
in
is
here.
not
And there's a
that
big hammer on it that says "in case of emergency, break glass." And inside is the what if script.
In case of algorithmic suppression, break glass.
Listen, we are channeling our Toriyama. He would be proud. In this case. Channeling our inner Toriyama.
You become the very thing that you fought against.
Yeah. No, but in seriousness, they would get on really well, and I would love to have them interact in some way, but I want it to be at the right circumstances and not have it be forced. That's the main reason, to be honest. And maybe slight trolling. Maybe slight trolling. Red Dragon Force 2.
One second, I wanted to say one more thing. But we are listening to your feedback, and maybe we'll be able to hear some more R&R version of Gina in the future. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Do I need to turn down my mic?
No, your mic's fine. I mean, I can reduce it slightly on my end, so don't worry, that's fine.
Okay.
10%. Yeah. That should be fine. All right. Red Dragon Force 2 says that the intent is to replace Oolong's panty wish, the whole Bulma biological sister thing. Again, it would be something really interesting to her. Manifesto says, "What if Ultra Instinct didn't talk, only rarely talked?" Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Like it was the first time we saw it. I mean, that would be absolutely brilliant because, like, I don't want it to be like in the games, like, here goes Ultra Instinct. I mean, Goku wouldn't know what it's called.
In the first version, how it was framed to us, it was like he doesn't talk and he has like a blank memory slate. He doesn't remember what he did, and that was super cool. That was his body,
Yes.
and that was super. And later on, no, it's just another power up.
Yeah, exactly. So I absolutely do agree with this. Yeah. And Garcia, you found the launch emoji. Enjoy it and use it well. James Hill, what if Planet Vegeta had Dragon Balls? Well, I'm playing the sound because they would be exploited to high heaven, seriously. And honestly, they probably would have the only way I could see it working and it not being totally broken is that the Namekian they have prisoner that makes them initially like deliberately nerfs them, like
Moss, I think you're making an assumption here about whether or not the Saiyans would be the ones with possession of the Dragon Balls. Because if Planet Vegeta had Dragon Balls, for all we know, they could have been in the possession of the Tuffles. After all, who else would have had the technology to make a Dragon Radar?
Oh.
The Tuffles might have had access to these
Yeah.
Dragon Balls and used their power against the Saiyans in their war.
Planet, right? So
Yeah.
they could have used them against the Saiyans and like have it like, the Saiyans like initially have like a no touchy rule. So like a Saiyan goes to try and punch a Tuffle, it then immediately gets punched in its own face. Like
Yeah.
like you just like say, you can't touch me, can't touch me, can't touch me. Even these giant apes, they try and like step on them, but they can't, and they basically turns them on against themselves.
Yeah. Make
would give you
Saiyans. Yeah. Go on. Sophie, go on.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to
I
interrupt.
wanted to say they would wish to turn to make Saiyans turn into a small cute monkeys instead of Zaru.
And
Grind
if
monkey.
you wanted to come up with some more creative thinking as well, depending upon what is and is not within the scope of the power of whatever dragon is created on the planet, right? Especially assuming whether or not like the Namekian making it has a lot of experience or et cetera, et cetera. It would give you an opportunity to think up some interesting ways that the Tuffles could utilize the Dragon Balls to try and help. Do they just elect a champion and wish for immortality? Do they just elect to wish the all of the Saiyans off of the planet? Do they just wish to, I don't know, gain a huge technological leap? Who knows? It's definitely an interesting concept.
Yeah, no, certainly.
I don't want to talk too much about this because we took a really deep dive into Tuffles lately, and we're having
Yeah,
videos about them.
Yeah, you
And
should
one of
see
them
that.
has a very crazy theory that I'm exercising, but I think a lot of people will like it.
You all
Cool.
should see it in a few weeks. So definitely.
Yeah.
Red Dragon Force. What if Gohan faced his inner Zaru in order to fully tap into his full potential, even after obtaining ultimate form, regaining his tail in the process? Oh, okay. So basically, it'd be like it would be sort of in a way like him becoming like controlling his giant monkey form. So you basically get this 5-year-old kid who is in control of his ability, like in control of his like faculties, as like as a giant monkey. You could have a lot of fun with that, like Hey, Mr. Piccolo, look what I can do! Gohan, this isn't the time to be monkeying around. Mr. Piccolo, I can squish you for that pawn.
Gohan shows up in the Buu Saga. It's time to unleash my giant monkey form.
How dare!
Vegeta's watching from hell, just being like,
Yeah.
he stole my thing!
How dare!
Or imagine imagine them fighting Frieza, and Frieza is like, oh dear.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, Gohan literally having his two halves become one, as Red Dragon would say. Yeah, I mean, that's very true. It certainly would actually be a different stance on it, so instead of, like, having to try and hide away from it. Paparacha, what if the Dead Zone was redone in Super? Garlic Sr. was the brother of the DP who lost that position. The Dead Zone was the void of a former universe. Whis the target? That'd actually be pretty cool. Like, Garlic Sr., we actually get to see him, instead of him being drawn on an Etch-a-Sketch. And basically, it would actually make Whis the focus of the plot, and actually, like, look into his backstory. That'd be kind of cool.
Ew. I'm always down for more Whis and Vados.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That'd be really, really cool. It'd be like, oh yes, I remember the Dead Zone. That's where we all put the dead universes. It's always fascinating about what you go to see down there. And
I think my uncle's living there now.
exactly. Oh, I have to go and say hello. Yeah, Manifesto. What if Super Saiyan 4 was fixed in terms of gaining the form? It seems like its method and way of attaining it was a slap to the forms before it, maybe. It's a bit clunky, yes, but you need to go up from a giant monkey to actually then have an end goal. So then you get Super Saiyan 4, which does not have gold fur. It's just red for some reason, but it looks primal, so therefore it does look very cool. But honestly, they do actually, after that first transformation, going through Golden Uzaru, they can actually access the form at will.
In just the unlock requirement, like with Super Saiyan God, it's just, you know.
Yeah, it's just that initial unlock. So,
you need the achievement to transform into it.
Yeah, you need to access it through the main storyline before you can actually access it whenever. So that's just so you know. Paparacha, what if Goku had a twin sister who was frozen in ice, who we found and adopted in years before Cell? If the sister had amnesia, or even then if Goku was like thousands of times stronger than her, she'd be able to, like, you know, control her through submission. I mean, it could be an interesting take on it if she still has memories of Planet Vegeta and providing some details.
Question.
Yeah.
Question. If this sister is a twin or like of an age with Goku, and she was frozen in ice, was it effective? Yeah, was it effectively like cryostasis, and she never aged, and so we wind up with Goku's sister, who is in fact like around the same age as like his children,
like a baby or something like that. Oh,
like a baby, or maybe even let's say she's an older sister, right? Maybe she's around like Goten and Trunks's age, you know, and so then you wind up with a very interesting situation. You know, that might be an interesting way to do something different with like a Dragon Ball GT situation, you know, instead of aging down Goku.
Yeah, Paparacha's agree with that. Absolutely. Let's make a note of that. Yeah. Let's definitely make a note of that. Okay. Guys, this is your 5-minute warning before Super Chats close, because we got a sudden bunch of them. So you got 5 minutes. Okay. James Hill, what if Frieza found Broly and Paragus before the Namek saga? Well, if he did, then the power would be absolutely incredible, for a start, and completely uncontrollable. So I would have to play the same. Because unfortunately, that Frieza would be still very, very contempting of Saiyans. Not like in the Broly movie at all.
He would off them.
Pardon?
He would off them. He would kill them.
Yeah, no, exactly. So basically, you know, if Broly put a toe out of line instantly, he would kill them. He would kill him, definitely. But there would be a very, very short window of him actually being able to do it. So we'd have to be very careful. But then again, he wouldn't know that. So it would certainly be something very, very perilous. Certainly. Okay, Paparacha. What if Frieza or Cold were mutated Tuffles? Again, we don't know what the Tuffles do, but they do get up to some wacky, crazy stuff. So it wouldn't be a surprise if that may have been like a previous experiment from the Tuffles that they threw out into space, and it was just like, it didn't work out for them or anything. So yeah, I think it could easily be that. Manifesto? Watch, brother, as I am going to defeat you with my... Cooler in his silver form beats him up easily. You are saying, Frieza? I can imagine Cooler having a silver form, and everyone's going like, is that Meta Cooler? No, it is Silver Cooler.
Meta Cooler was in the movies. That's not canon anymore.
Metacooler, what? Shut up. So, no, absolutely. James Hill, what if Goku survived the battle with Raditz, so Goku never let go of Raditz's tail? Well, basically, if Raditz got, his tail was submitted, and basically if he just held on to it for the longest time, then he could easily do it. He could... sorry, I've just got to, like, respond to an email for 1 second. But basically, he would basically just have the ability to be submitting and stuff.
Well, and let's assume that like, okay, Goku holds onto the tail, Raditz gets killed, Goku survives the battle. You're looking at two scenarios here. One, Piccolo still has his grudge against Goku, so they very well might fight after Raditz is dead, which could still lead to Goku's death. Or they both decide to go their separate ways. And the question becomes, does Goku still wind up training with King Kai despite not going to Otherworld? And that kind of the answer to that question is what triggers whether or not you play the sound, essentially, because you need Kaioken if you're going to fight Nappa and Vegeta.
Well, okay.
Also Gohan isn't training.
Oh,
No.
so tell you what, I'm gonna play half the sound. Play half the sound. There you go. So it's like half the sound. All right. Okay, Papa Poda. It's like, don't you have to be stupid somewhere else? Not until like 4 or anything. So basically, it's just like, well, I mean, I could, but not right now. Great Twitch. In the Gine What If, you glossed over the Battle of the Gods. You were alluding to something special there. Could you go into a little more depth? Oh yeah, certainly. So people were a little bit, like, sad that I really didn't spend much time in the Battle of Gods saga, but Gine wasn't really doing much in that arc. Like, as I said, like, after the Boo saga, she became quite the recluse, and the only really things that she did with people were, you know, the party for Bulma's birthday, but that was it. And she basically just wasn't really one for, like, gatherings anymore. You know, she just was, like, kept her distance in a way. So therefore she didn't really get up to much, and Goku, well, Kakarot, also honored the promise that she had asked him to keep about not dragging him into this kind of stuff. So, you know, Kakarot, sorry, was honoring her promise or request. So there you go. So I think that's pretty much the reason. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the next one is Manifesto. Do you see similarities between Gohan and Peter Parker? Both have powers and trying to balance their lives and identities. Oh, absolutely. Down to the fact that they basically have very, you know, very, very traditional jobs. And they also put on a mask.
Now I'm just imagining, what if you role swapped them, and Goku was the photographer for the Daily Bugle, and had to try to picture Goku interacting with J. Jonah Jameson.
Gohan, yeah.
Or Gohan in this case.
Monkey Boy, bring me the pictures of Spider-Man. Not just one, not just two. All the pictures of Spider-Man. He is a menace.
But J. Jonah Jameson, but Mr. Jameson, I've got a conference to go to. You serious? Sorry, I had to. There you go. Craig Twitchell, what if Sensu beans were sentient? Oh man. Like,
maybe they are.
Well,
so instead of that loud crunch sound effect that they play every time someone pops a Senzu bean, it's just a scream.
No, just you have to swallow them whole, or else it doesn't work, and like, or bite their head off, or something like that. Don't bite the tail, like.
But I thought if you did that, you'd grow a beanstalk out of you.
Beanstalk will go in your belly.
Yeah, but they would be like that, you know, passive aggressive or passive supporting. It's okay. I know that my life doesn't matter. Just eat me. No worries.
They could be just like,
make it quick.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel the pain.
And then, you know, Vegeta's like, I don't care. Man, they're really whiny. Okay. Alright, okay guys, the super chats are now closed. Thank you so much for your contributions, everybody. We're going to get through our backlog now, so basically, if you do a super chat, we might be able to get to it. But mostly, if you do super chats, it's mainly just because you wish to contribute in some way. Alright, okay, let's move on. Chrome Bison, suppose Gohan regrew his tail and trained to control his Zaru form. What if he integrated into his Great Saiyaman identity to fight Kaiju? Oh man, that'd be awesome! That'd be so cool! Like, he's like, so basically...
Oh, it's so... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No.
Kind of blew my mind.
No, I think you are understanding where this is going. So basically, like, he then, like, does this projection in his visor, then projects a moon. Oh, is the audio gone? No, audio's fine. Yeah, audio's still okay. If you're having trouble with audio, oh no, I think everything's fine. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Now, basically, he projects a moon in his visor. He has the tail, and then basically he just goes, like, he just grows, and but then he obviously has a pose, and then he has the same like material that makes the Saiyan things all stretchy. So then he becomes a giant monkey fighting these giant like robots and stuff.
He's a Saiyaman version of Ultraman.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why we need Saiyaman spin-off. Come on, Toei.
Yes.
Come on.
Do it, Toei.
Or actually do that movie. Or actually make the movie. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Bowser loving this. I mean, let's make this into the next lightning round. We need this. We need this.
Saiyaman the movie.
We want this. We need this. All right. Jake State Farm. What if Chi-Chi... Oh, it's Jake from State Farm. Nice. Well, what if Chi-Chi passed away giving birth to Goten and Goku went back to raising their boys? I can imagine this probably being a very wholesome mini-arc and stuff like that. But at the same time, it would really depend on how Chi-Chi passed away. If it were natural causes, then there's really not much they can do. Unless it's, of course, the Namekian.
It's childbirth, yeah.
But then again,
it's childbirth considered natural causes. That's the question.
Depends. But I imagine that Toriyama would say the Earth Dragon Balls can't. But the Namekian Dragon Balls don't have that caveat. They don't. So. But let's say they did. So basically, Chi-Chi gone. Can't bring her back. Nothing you can do. So this would be just a case of Goku, like, trying to raise Goten. But remember, they're not alone. There is Ox King who would just move in with him and help. But you basically have two men. No, Gohan there as well. So 3 men and a baby. Three men and a baby with 3 generations. You got Ox King, Goku, and Gohan looking after Goten.
And also, like, the rest of the team would help for sure. Like,
of course, yeah.
Bulma would check in ever so often, not trusting Goku with the baby.
Only trusting Gohan, really.
If you're going to go that far and make it Ox King, Goku, and Gohan raising a child, and you're gonna go for the 3 men and a baby reference, then you gotta go the full mile. And make Goten a girl so that you get 3 men and a little lady.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, that is really cute. Manifesto. What if the Tree of Might plot was rebooted for the next Super movie, or Cooler was the next villain for the next movie? Any ideas how these could work? Oh, totally. Like the Tree of Might, that could easily be rebooted, and the Cooler movie. Haverock and I basically are calling it that if they do another movie, it's going to be cooler. It's going to be cooler, rebooted, and basically, this is basically Frieza coming back saying, "You guys, you have to help me, but my brother's out of control." And then basically Vegeta, "Ah yes, I knew this day would come. Cooler, running you ragged, Frieza." And then we would have the callback from Zero of, "Oh, if my brother could do it, then so could I." So,
and listen, like a lot of the ideas from our proposed Cooler movie were reforged into What If Kuriza. So a lot of elements that.
So if you want to get a rough idea about what to expect from our opinion, check out our What If Frieza Had a Son. And by the way, I can now tell you guys that next week is going to be a rather special week. Next week is Frieza Week. So you get you get 4 videos and 2 podcasts. So you get like 4 videos, I've got an interview Haverock and I with Eric Vale, the voice of Trunks, coming out on Monday. And
Nice.
we also, on Friday the 10th, have one with Courtney, our voice of Ranch, because on the 10th, it's Ranch's birthday. So we're having a birthday podcast. So look forward to that. Okay. Red Dragon Force 2. Oh, no, sorry. It's Craig. So what if Juro survived the Android Saga? What would he actually do? Well, basically, if he did, and he was somehow able to, like, avoid the Dragon Team, he would then have to rebuild himself in a way. Like, literally rebuild himself. And then carve out a new identity. Trying to, like, find a new way to get into the Z-Fighters' heads. And stuff
Dr. Mew!
Dr. Mew! There'd be Dr. Mew. There you go. Simple as that. Now, Red Dragon Force. Dark me! Ah, yes, but what if you are light me?
Oh my goodness. I never really thought of that. Well, I am a light one because you're dark and mean.
This didn't really work, did it? No sirree. Paparazzi. What if after making Trunks Vegeta and Bulma didn't stick and Vegeta made a bunch of kicks with random women? Basically,
Well,
basically
that
Dio.
would
It's basically,
that would make things very, very complicated for the rest of the cast, because they'd keep having these Vegeta children popping up every now and then to cause mischief.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just every now and again, in like a mini arc, you'd have another child of Vegeta coming to wreak revenge on the Saiyan race.
Just turn it into a running gag and just have like a kid of Vegeta's show up every now and then.
You're not dealing with the average Saiyan bastard.
Yeah, exactly. Manifesto.
Which, since Vegeta and Bulma would never get married, Trunks would stay a bastard, which would mean that whenever anybody talked to him, he would be referenced as Prince Vegeta's bastard.
Oh, that would be really, really sad. It's like, and then Goten,
It's okay, Trunks. I don't think you're one of those. Why did you just say the name, Goten? Mom doesn't want me to say that. But it's, like, accurate and stuff. Yeah, I know. She just doesn't want me to say it is all.
It's like, okay, Manifesto. Hey, Masako, I'm asking for a friend. What is best way of becoming a great writer or gaining a great writing skills on your own? Thanks for tips. Simple. Practice. You got to keep going. You got to keep practicing. And also, by the way, you want to look on Facebook. There is a guy I absolutely admire called Jason Buck. And Jason Buck does a lot of storytelling about Norse and Viking tales. And the way he talks is incredible, because the other day he does these like Zoom live streams, and he did the story of Beowulf, and he is so good. So look up Jason Buck storytelling on Facebook, or just look anywhere online, and you'll see what I mean. I look up to that guy, but it's just about carving out an imagination, and just basically trying to find a way to speak out to the audience. But most importantly, it's practice and experience.
Also, one of the most... sorry, go on, Sophia, after you.
Well, I was just going to say, one major key that I think a lot of people overlook that will help to teach you how to write better is read a lot. And I don't mean just listen to audiobooks. I mean actually sit down and read. And as you're reading, utilize some of your higher thinking and examine what you're reading. Look at how it's formatted. Look at how they go about describing things, and utilize that to help you to learn the good and the bad of how to write a decent story. Find your favorite stories, the ones that really engage you, and just really read them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, it's all about picking things up as you go along.
Yeah, and the best advice I've got from one of my writing professors on university is that the art of writing is the art of keeping your butt on your chair. because
Mhm.
because when you start writing, you have that wonderful imaginative uh, wonderful image that you are just, oh, I already came up with the story, now it's just to write it. Nope. It can be tedious, it can take a lot of time, it's really rewarding, but also keep in mind that writing can be hard and time consuming work
Yep.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes you can get on hiding to nothing, and then sometimes, and this is something that quite happened a lot, is you write yourself into a plot hole and you gotta like go backwards to find the plot hole and fix it. And so sometimes that
Mhm.
can take up a lot of time, and it also is just like, oh man, it really sucks when that happens. Like,
And sometimes you'll think that you're on a roll and you'll find yourself falling into various different like narrative faux pas, bad tropes or cliches. And so it helps in that case to have a couple of people read your work so that you can get an outsider's perspective on what's being written.
right.
Masako himself has gone through some of that
Yeah.
as far as that goes.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah, and ask for another pair of eyes, because sometimes they could go, well, did you think of this? And you go like, damn, that's good.
Hmm.
Like, it's never, like, never be stubborn and refuse to ask for help. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Joe Kage. What if Goten was born before Gohan? Probably just the exact same thing that would have happened. Like, maybe not the rage boosts and stuff like that, but, still the desire to study from Chi-Chi. And then Gohan would be the one who has the rage boost, but also the freedom to have, like, choose his own destiny in a way. So, basically, certain things would just be reversed based on, when they were born. Gobi, what if Gohan and Videl had founded their own orphanage or had decided to become foster parents? You know what? I could see Gohan and Videl being altruistic like that, especially, like, as long as they did it quite tastefully and stuff like that, and they wanted to actually be, like, helping the community and stuff. So I can imagine that, basically. Yeah, just kind of giving, like, I imagine probably, giving them activities and stuff like that. Again, I think if they did, they would become, very, very altruistic people. Definitely. Craig Twitchell, is the round table going to be on Friday from now on? Probably for the next few weeks, and then moving back to Thursday. Because the reason why it's not on Thursday is because I have puppy training classes, and mainly the training's for me rather than the puppy, to be honest. Because
And the puppy comes first.
Little Uffa is a show off because she basically does the commands before I even ask her to do it. Like, apparently that's a good thing. That's basically offering behavior, like going, oh, this gets me good, like this gets me praise. I'm gonna do this to get praise. So I'm like, apparently that's a good thing. So, but then I'd go like, no, you're not getting the tree. I didn't ask you to do it. So she just goes. So she grumbles. She is such a grumble gut. Seriously, she grumbles a lot. Like she's just like grumbling and groaning. Like whenever she's like just talk. She's very talkative. But yeah, Yash Uffa's doing really, really well. Absolutely, really well.
You should see my doggo about grumbling. Yeah. But lately, I discovered that music is able to calm her from the storm, which is a miracle.
Those YouTube 10-hour videos of calming music actually work. They do work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nick Wool, bandwagon time. What if Frieza and Cooler were twins? What if Kuriza and Trojan were Frieza's twins? What if Super Broly and Z Broly, aka Kumba, were twins? Oh, the twin dynamic. If Frieza and Cooler were twins, it doesn't really make much of a difference, to be honest, because the age thing doesn't really make that much of a thing. It'd just be like Frieza is just the more maniacal version. Cooler was cast out because he was too, safe in a way. So that would be pretty interesting. If Kuriza and Trojan were Frieza's twins, then probably if Trojan was the son of Frieza, then kind of chaotic, and then Kuriza being the more timid version. So you'd have bigger polarities in a way. That could be interesting. And if Super Broly and Z Broly, so basically Kumba, if the two of them were twins, then again, you'd have the anarchic and the timid. So you'd have good polarities there, and them trying to cancel each other out. So it's always that comparison. So it'd always actually be really good. Gobi, what if future Goku had managed to survive the virus via Shenron of sheer fortune? Like, purely by chance. So if future Goku basically had survived by chance, it probably would have still taken him a long time, like a good few days to recover. at the very least. And if he did, then they'd probably be training as per normal, maybe. They would have discovered Super Saiyan Grade 2, Goku especially, like, just by chance. And then probably would have been enough to actually hold the androids back in a way. But I imagine that, you know, the likes of Tenshin and Clearing would probably have fallen. Like, there would have been those who've fallen, but ultimately the androids would have won. But then you would have to deal with against Cell. But, again, Cell would have just gone to a larval state or go to another timeline. Depends on what you do. Okay. Nick Wolf. Inspired by Salad saying, what if Bardock and Guinea escaped Vegeta, crash landed and stuck on Yardrat? Would he and Guinea be stranded until Goku came? The only distinct key Bardock can suss out with Spirit Control are Yardratians, Guinea, Frieza and his family, and Frieza Saga Goku. Maybe Saiyan Saga Raditz and Goku. Okay, so as you're right, so basically if they were stranded, I imagine Bardock would try and like find some understanding about his clairvoyance powers and stuff. So I imagine Chipara would like find him a way to be able to temper it, or at least use it to his own advantage, instead of just getting them randomly. So be able to kind of like focus that. That's the point of Spirit Control. It's meant to focus what you already have. So it would mean that Bardock would actually become a really accurate clairvoyant. Guinea probably would just be kind of like try and find some way of focusing on her own talents. And then in terms of sensing energy, they probably would just wait until Goku arrived and then there'd be some sort of reunion. But then I think Bardock would like try and find some way to be able to like score a ride back or something like that with via instant transmission.
What the more I think about it is like Pibara is one of the few beings that may be able to influence Bardock and like make him from a mercenary more to a ex-mercenary monk type of person, like to but basically turn Guinea and Bardock into like
definitely the most likely one to actually be doing something. Definitely. Darren Hardy, what do you think the Dragon Team's favorite Queen song is? Well, I would imagine like Who Wants to Live Forever for for Frieza. Who wants to live forever? And then Roshi said, I do. I love it.
Let's see. Frieza's Who Wants to Live Forever. Yeah. Roshi's Fat Bottom Girls.
Yes.
I think Vegeta's would be We Are the Champions.
Yes.
Although he just changes it to a singular I am the champion.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Gosh.
Goten and Trunks. Goten and Trunks, we will rock you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Goku's another one bites the dust. It's like just
no. The show must go on. The show must go on.
And then, of course, because I've done the theme with Guinea, Radio Gaga. All we hear is Radio Guinea. So, yeah, again, I know people were like, why did you put that, like, thing there? I don't care. I wanted that little, shtick for Guinea. There you go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Nick Wolf. Gobi. What if Dragon Ball was more like an epic rock opera? That would be awesome. Just like intergalactic space opera. What?
That would be fun.
Yeah. No, like Starlight Express almost. Yeah, it's just like Dragon Ball fighting on roller skates. That'd be cool. So, honestly, you just have like these cool set pieces, like, with all the graphics and stuff like that, with all the light machines and stuff. It'd be really, really fun. Again, try and imagine like that on a West End stage and stuff like that. That'd be really fun.
Rock musical.
Yeah. Nick Wolf, do you think making alien races all one gender, Namekians, Yardrati, Frieza, Kosians, screams of systematic sexism, Toriyama lateness, or both? The way I see it, to be honest, like for the most part, when it comes to that basic thing, there really isn't that much of that going on. I mean, the only thing where Toriyama really falls down on is when he gives up on ideas. Like, if he has an idea for a female character, he is really, really proactive with them. Like, absolutely, like, 18, basically sees Vegeta, breaks his arm, boom! Like, when he actually has ideas for characters, it's brilliant. He's really good at, like, involving them in the plot. But when he doesn't have ideas for them, that's where it all falls apart. That's where it all falls apart, and he then resorts to old archetypal stereotypes that were acceptable in the 80s. Unfortunately. But I think really it's just a case of like the alien. So imagine Toriyama making the answer like, I don't know, that they're alien. There you go. Like that's the way. That's the way I see it.
From what I remember, we don't have a confirmation with Yardratians. Like they still may have genders. They may have they may not have sexual dimorphisms as we perceive it. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Alien. As to quote Strongbad, everybody is different. No two people are not on fire. Aww.
Gosh, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah, I saw a funny tweet that basically there are three kinds of people. No, there are two kinds of people. People who are old enough to have watched Homestar Runner, and those who are too young to watch Homestar Runner. It's like, oh man, bum. That theory absolutely breaks my mind. Yeah, no, it's absolutely great. It's like,
whenever I drink a tall glass of melonade, I eat an entire bag of Huffly marshmallows. Seriously, guys, they're the greatest.
Shiver with flavor, shiver with flavor.
Sorry. That's it. This is the greatest cartoon in the whole world. Have a trophy. That's the thing.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
Sorry, it's like, well, I'm sorry, everybody. It's just, this is really good cake. It's like, sorry, and I that's the thing I say to people if they do really well. Have a trophy. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, all right. Oh, it's Jessica. I don't think it deserves a trophy. I don't think it even deserves a pizza. Maybe a pizza trophy. Okay. All right. Two-Face Bot. What if Turles turned good? How would you do it? I'd probably have it in a way that Turles would arrive with Vegeta there, trying to find some way of actually being able to, like, beat down on Vegeta in some way. Like, getting the revenge, using the Tree of Might. Basically, like, thinking, this is what you get for having a class system, Saiyan. And then having that kind of stuff. Just having that kind of thing of, like, somehow having a common villain or a common enemy. Or someone wreaking revenge and stuff. So I would probably, like, say it would have to be something around the Saiyan saga. The Tree of Might's there. And, like, I don't know. But it would have to be, like, some way of, like, not forcing it. But it would have to be Vegeta being the common enemy.
The problem is if you take the evil aspect from Turles, he's a no character because his main thing is being like he's an evil Goku. He's an amalgamation of Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz.
Yeah, exactly. He's dark Goku. There you go. Nick Wolf, what if Broly landed on Earth and Grandpa Gohan rolled a nat 20, using Roshi's hypnosis technique on Broly mid-Rosario transformation, putting him to sleep? Well, if he rolled a nat 20, and if he rolled a nat 20 again with a critical, basically, that means Broly would be completely cured of his like, hysteria. So if he got, like, a nat 20 and rolled a nat 20 for confirmation, like, 2 nat 20s, like, yeah, that's Broly cured. Like, you know, and this means I can play this sound. It would be, like, Grandpa Gohan going,
excellent.
Again, just like, I love that sound. That would be Grandpa Gohan right then, rolling 2 nat 20s. But basically, Broly would be cured. They'd find a way of using all the powers. And yeah, they would have a very powerful ally in that sense. Papa Podo, what if Goten and Trunks were juggalos, superfans of Insane Clown Posse, and their mothers found out by walking in on them while the boys were painting each other's faces and listening to ICP? I'm not really familiar with Insane Clown Posse, to be honest, but like, say if like Goten...
I am also not.
Nope.
But let's say if in general it was basically something like you get Chi-Chi going, "Well, my child's a delinquent," and stuff. That whole thing again, like. That thing, yeah.
Because it was so funny.
Yeah, because like, wow, my child's a delinquent. Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny, Chi-Chi.
Top-notch humor.
Yeah, absolutely. Gorilla Geek 27. What if Goku's Dragon Fist was canon? I'd be all for that. And why isn't it? Like, surely Super Saiyan God. And like, yeah, no, Yash, I did see your super chat is here, I believe. Yes, I do see it. It's just further down the line. That's all. Just so you know. Okay, wait. So basically, Dragon Fist, let's make it happen. Super Saiyan God. Can you imagine Super Saiyan God with a Super Dragon Fist? That'd be awesome. I would pay.
It would be a red dragon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And people were just like, did you just punch me with a dragon? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Neat.
Awesome. Do it again. Alright, Nick Wolf, what if adult Marin and Goten got married? If they did get married, it'd be really cute. And it'd be like, hey, Goku, looks like we're brother-in-laws now. It's like,
whoa, bro, that's cool, but you were already my bro.
aw, Goku, that's awesome. Basically, it's like, now we're double brothers.
Yeah!
Or maybe I should say, Broku?
And then second, what if Good Boy Raditz had a stand based on his mother? Raditz turns to Queen. All we hear is, it'd be Radio Gaga. It would definitely be Radio Gaga, but he calls him Radio Guinea, because somehow the stand looks like Guinea in some way. Gobi, what if Fusion had the consequences of eventual madness and non-core meanings when used repeatedly? Right? Use diminishing returns, like having some kind of caveat that would mean that they don't have to spam use it all the time? And to be honest, with Vegito, their personalities are already slightly unhinged anyway. So the more you use it, the less likely it's going to be like they're kind of like really having that moment where they could go crazy. Just having that.
The only character they utilized it with kind of was Zamasu when he started to not only fall apart physically but also mentally.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But the guy in the Japanese dub of Zamasu, when he just sees Trunks going and he goes mad, is fantastic. His performance was amazing, and I believe that's the guy who voices the Japanese James from Pokemon, like Kojiro.
Yeah.
So basically, just like Trunks. It's just like yes, you are going mad, and that's great. Okay. Manifesto. What if Piccolo somehow became the next GOD after Beerus many years later, and acted like the calm and non-evil kind of example of GODs? Would he be a good one? Probably. It would take some while, and at first I don't think he would ever do it, like when his friends were around. Like, this would be like hundreds of years after they'd all passed and stuff like that, around the time of Dragon Ball Online. And, like, it would be just like a moment where he would only consider doing it because there was nothing else to do, or he felt like.
And also, it's a nice, shout out to his GT ending, but making a bit more sense.
Yeah, instead of him just standing on a planet, go like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wait here to die." I mean, I could escape, but like, no. So it's that was weird. Craig, basically we are quite far behind, and we did have a Jiro what if from you, but already. So don't worry, we do have a big backlog. We're not even halfway through yet. So just so you know.
Yeah, we have a surprisingly large backlog for how quickly it developed today.
And you guys had 20 minutes, so imagine that.
Yeah, exactly. We really appreciate the support we do, but it will take a while. Just so you know.
Yeah, you gotta have some patience.
Yeah. What Affinity spin-off? This is from Nick Wolf. Into the Cellverse. GB Good Boy 21. The Sincere Guinea Cell. Brutus Napa Cell. Showboat Hercule Cell. Lazy Yajirobe Cell. Celine, etc. Oh yeah, because the week after Frieza Week, we are getting part 11 of Goku was female. Enter Celine. Yeah, no, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. No, Craig, we did do a Jiro one, because it was like it was asking what would Jiro do if he survived the Android saga. Just so you know, we did do that one. Oh. 1 second, I'm just gonna check something because I can hear just something a bit funny. But basically, but in terms of a What Infinity spin-off, I imagine probably it would just be like, you know, I do want to do that eventually, but maybe when some of the more established What Ifs have come to an end, so we got like all those recognizable characters. So
Yeah, we had an idea. We might scrap some of the elements from this old idea, but you'll see. We will see.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Then, okay, next one is Novatatsu. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. My what if question is, what if Gohan was born evil? Oh, well basically, if Piccolo took him, when, like, Piccolo took him, not recognizing that Gohan was evil, and it'd be like, Gohan has these evil tendencies, and Piccolo's like, whoa, well, it became like, he was like, already pre-packaged. Hey kid, you want to take over the world?
Do I?
Oh my god, I'm proud of you, son! It's like, basically, they would take over the world. So basically, you would sort of get the idea that you see in What If, my What If that I did, What If Dragon Ball Z never happened. So you can go and check out
But
that
Gohan would be actually ambitious, and he will double cross Piccolo, and he will rule the world.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good twist. Yeah. Dark Cloud Alpha, what if Videl didn't fight Spopovich? Well, if she didn't, then she would still be in there. So basically, if like the draws were like done differently, so basically Videl fought somebody else, so somebody else, some other poor sap. If it was somebody else that fought Spopovich and it was like a no-name character, then I would feel very sorry for them right now. So be like, yeah, they would have died for the plot. They would have like been killed, and then Spopovich would have been disqualified. But then Gohan would have like felt. I think Gohan, but then again, like Gohan would have then gone for Shin, then had his energy drained. But it would sort of made Spopovich and Yamu's job like a bit like they would have faded into the background. Maybe make their surprise return even more pronounced, maybe. So, but yeah, no, the whole thing with Videl, as much as I absolutely hated seeing that as a kid, I really did not like it. Especially, I had a crush on Videl majorly when I was 15, and I was like,
oh, that like as if that's surprising at all, Moss.
Normally, Videl's not the kind of type I would be with nowadays. Like, but still, back then, major crush. Back then, when I was 15.
Everybody had a crush on Videl. Admit it.
Yes, of course, everybody did. Of course. But yeah, so like, so yeah, but honestly, not having that subplot really would have done Gohan down, because that was actually really, really touching and and thematically really, really powerful. But you know, my 15-year-old brain was like, no man, that sucks. No, so I didn't like that at the time. Now though, I still don't like it. But it's like, it'd be like, as Guru would say, I like it, but not a lot. I don't like it. So,
but not a lot.
I love the whole thing. Yeah, so I like it, but not a lot. I don't like it. Okay. Silversmith, old ass. What if Bardock and Turles were half brothers, plus Turles was the brilliant scientist? Related, think Turles would make a good enemy for Goku Bulma fusion? Oh yeah. Well, if Turles was the smart one, that would actually play off very well in like Turles being the Goku parallel of like having the difference between, you know, himself and Goku, like having like the different intelligence quotients. So having that kind of twist would be kind of interesting. Like, same character appearance, but then it's also something like completely and utterly different. So I think that could be really cool.
I would make him physically weak then. And the science, and like we did the scientist. I would make him physically. And you know, there's a little bit of Scar situation from Lion King that, you know.
I'm afraid I'm at the shallow end of the gene pool.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but when it comes to brute strength. Yeah.
As far as brains go, I got the lion's share. But when it comes to brute strength...
You made me miss my lunch. Okay. Alright. Okay. Gobi, going with the Yardrat virus origin notion, what if Vegeta contracted the heart virus at some point during or post-Moro arc? Well, I feel like by then, Bulma probably would have been able to like synthesize that medicine because they had that for 3 years. So I imagine Bulma would have wanted to actually take a look because like, hey, cool, future cure from the future. Capsule Corp can make big bucks if this was a thing, you know. Bulma would have had a look at it because she would have wanted to know. So actually, she probably would have synthesized like a small dose of it. So basically, Vegeta would be out of commission post Moro arc for a while, but basically it'd be like a sense of understanding of what Goku went through in that sense. So it'd be a moment of peril and stuff, but it'd be also interesting to see whether that would actually still be, you know, expired and stuff. Like, it would be one of those things where, oh my god, we don't know how to cure Vegeta, and then Bulma goes, wait, I need to go and check something. Finds it, like, hidden in the back of a cupboard and stuff. Like, and it's expired by 10 years and stuff. Will it work? Will it not work? All that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. Kirby163. I've mentioned consequences of the Super Saiyan God ritual in Videl before. But what if she got an Uzaru-like rage mode when she looked at the full moon as well? So basically, like, she, instead of, like, getting, like, the full Uzaru transformation, she basically went berserk every time she saw the full moon. Sort of like the Wrathful form in a way. Then she would have a lot... Like the Wrathful form almost, like Broly did. So basically, yeah, she did. Then her power would still be quite low. So it'd be something to, like... They'd be able to, like, stop her or, like, control her in some way, and then find some way to temper it. But it would certainly... give her a quick increase in power, certainly, and then they would try and find a way to be able for her to control it.
I mean, I think that would give her potential to become the strongest human.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, certainly. Absolutely. Craig Twitchell. What if Goku had the evil aura of the evil Saiyans? Basically, if Goku, well, that's that's basically Turles, because Turles is Dark Goku and stuff like that. But basically, if Goku had the evil aura from the start, then, you know, when Raditz arrived on Earth, he would just join up with Raditz and then destroy everybody. Basically, Raditz would find a way to be able to get under Goku's skin. And there you go. So
unless... I'm
stopping the sound.
Depending upon... What's that?
I said I stopped the sound, so say your piece.
Well, I was going to say, unless... Goku's not... unless bad guy Goku, Dark Aura Goku, doesn't particularly enjoy the thought of becoming second fiddle to an older brother that he doesn't know, and says, you know, I'm pretty happy just, you know, ruling this planet by myself.
Yeah.
And so him and Raditz still have to fight because Goku wants to be the big cheese of Earth instead of going off gallivanting around the universe under the Saiyan thumb.
And you know it, brother, I really love this.
No, absolutely fair point. The Batosai, an idea on how to fix the Buu saga. Swap the roles of Buu and Dabura, as in Buu is the loyal servant and Dabura is the one being revived. Well, it would be interesting to see Buu as a minion and then Dabura as like the demon king that you've resurrected. I mean, in terms of a villain, it would be more hardcore. Like, you get this, like, oh yes, Lord Babidi, I'm here to serve and destroy in the manner that you wish. It'd be really cool. Because Dabura was cool. But, I don't know, I mean, it would
on the other hand, one of the things, that made Buu special was the fact that, his initial outing wasn't bad. The bigger problem was that it was just the Buu for too long, you know?
Yeah, it was just too long. If they cut the Buu up by Buu saga by half, then, you know, it would certainly be much more tolerable. Pampapoto, could we hear Russian Goku Black and Italian Black? It's like, and yes, what do you think of my transformation? Do you not think it is beautiful, dear darlings? Yeah, like that. And it's like, hey, look at me, I'm Italian Black. I basically like a pineapple on my pizza.
How dare you, you monster!
Oh my god!
Only I like pineapple!
What are you actually talking about?
What's that? Italian Goku Black? More like stereotype Goku Black.
I just wanted to apologize to all our Italian listeners.
Well, I'm following the
I wa-
stereotype of what a certain actor of Goku did for a British accent. I'm just saying.
It's a me, Mario Black.
I wanted to say that MasakoX and all MasakoX related people didn't want it to actually make this a likeness of any actual people. So
Just so you know, I'm making up for it by singing the Italian version of the GT theme in a couple of weeks. So you can actually hear me singing Italian. So there you go. You'll like that.
Very nice.
That'll make up for it. Gobi?
how would you do French, Goku?
Ah.
Well, basically, this is like the normal Goku, so merci beaucoup, Père Noël.
Is it? Oh, that's it. It'd be like, it's like, why, absolutely, my dear darlings. Can you not see this? I will say this carefully. I shall say this only once. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Gobi, what if Goku referred to Pan as little mini muffin button and used various muffin-related pet names for her? That would be absolutely adorable. And if we were doing the end of Z, I would pitch for that.
Hey there, how's my little mini muffin?
It's like, you know, that would be so adorable. Because end of Z, Pan's freaking adorable. So there you go. So, Manifesto, Vegeta. I will get the one. Don't any of you doubt me.
Come on, Vegeta, don't be so blue.
Oh, I love these acting ones. They're always a lot of fun. Silversmith, old ass. Think Gine and Beats would make a good couple. If they got revived at the same time and met somehow, I could see them being just good friends. Yeah, I could see them being good friends. You know, they're fish out of water characters. They feel like they're very vastly underpowered. They'd have that sense of affinity. I could see that being really, really cute. I think they could actually be... They'd be good pals. I think they'd have that sense of connection.
Yeah, I really felt bad for Beats once you realize what happened to him, most likely.
Yeah, exactly. He was taken, like, he didn't deserve that. He really did not deserve that. I feel really bad for him. Yeah, absolutely. So
the most nutritious Saiyan in official canon.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So the next one is Kiryu the Dragon Warrior. DBZ idea came true. It would be cooler would be an anti-hero who never destroyed non-conquered planets which King Cold hated, and so banished him and made Frieza. And Cooler wouldn't go gold, but silver, and be called Metacooler. Yeah, basically there would be the Metacooler thing. I also personally think that, you know, that's pretty much what happened in the main story. In the sense of, like, that's probably why Cooler was banished, because he was just not effective enough. And probably just more methodical. And King Cold didn't want that. So honestly, Kiryu, what you said is pretty much what I think is the main idea for Cooler in the first place. So you were pretty much right on the money, I would say.
Yeah,
Minion of the East. I got this idea from Geeks of Fun. What if Greek gods were in Dragon Ball Super? So basically, like, Bulma goes, I don't deserve you. You should be with a real girl. And Vegeta, who are you? I am from ancient Greece. That's one of my favorite TikTok memes. It's like, who are you? I am from ancient Greece. But the context thing is like, I don't care. I am from another time I do not understand. But honestly, if they were Greek gods, honestly, Goku, instead of going up Snake Way, has to traverse Mount Olympus. Dude, that'd be awesome. Like, you know, Goku...
So you're saying that he can go his way? He can go the distance?
He will go the distance. Good save there. Philly and I are major Hercules fans. And I'm really...
So you would say that Goku's road was from zero to hero.
Yeah, in no time flat.
He can Goku the distance.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig Twitcher, what if Jiro got his hands on Boo's DNA? If he did? Well, but the thing is that Boo doesn't have DNA. That's the thing. He is an amorphous blob made out of magical material who cannot be understood by science. So I imagine Jiro would be thinking, oh, this thing does have DNA, then realizes it does not have DNA, spend the rest, like, decades trying to figure out what it is, and then give up on it because he goes, "I just blasted this magic thing." Rah, 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 rah. Like, he would just...
That's part of the problem that I had with the whole Android 21 thing in Fighters is the whole Majin concept. It's
where
like
did that come from?
that implies that they managed to get Boo's genetics, and it's like Boo's a creature of pure magic. Come
How
on.
did they do that? Like, yeah, that's the thing. It just seems like a bit weird for that, but oh well, yeah.
Also, if they have at least an atom of Boo, Boo can return. So
Yeah, exactly.
or it will come back to Boo. So
Musa,
Yeah.
if you want to become a member, you just press the join button below the video. That's the way you can do it, and you can choose which tier that you want. Manifesto, what if Goku ended up in a Fortnite world for a day? Well, he would I don't really play Fortnite. Well, I don't play Fortnite. But I imagine he'd
Yeah,
love the
neither do
dancing.
I.
He'd be love the dancing. So basically, he'd be a skin, because they did that with Thanos, they'll do it with Goku eventually. So,
Yeah.
I imagine he'll be probably really good at that. He'd be then building things, he'd fly around the world and stuff. So yeah. Gobi, what if GT Goku had been turned back into a babu instead? So basically into a baby, then there would be no choice but to have Goten instead of Goku. Because he couldn't fight at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, actually, we'd have a really interesting story with the next generation. Well, there you
And
go.
the reason that they really, really need those Dragon Balls back isn't just because of the threat of a blown up Earth, but also because they need a way to get Goku to be an adult again.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of important too. And Musa, sorry about that. I know that YouTube memberships aren't available in certain areas, but they will. I think they'll come to more countries in the fullness of time, though. But sorry about that, Musa. But I do appreciate that you would wish to, regardless. Dark Cloud Alpha, what if Goku was a hybrid Saiyan with that hidden potential? Say Gine was a secret surviving Tuffle. Well, based on the whole theory of the Broly movie, then that would mean Goku should have a Russian accent or a Slavic accent, because that's our theory. That blue-haired scientist is basically half Tuffle. So apparently, Tuffle scientists had Slavic accents. That's our theory.
Yep.
So then Goku would have... That means that would make Russian Goku black true. And then basically... and then you could eventually have Wide Goku. The Wide Goku meme. I like that meme. That meme's really funny. I like that. Wide Goku. Okay. Papa Podo, don't hate me, Soph. My hero OTP is Kachako.
Kachako is a perfectly acceptable OTP. I think it's honestly a pretty decent pairing. I actually like it a bit more than the vanilla, like Izuku Ochako pairing personally. But I have to weigh that against my just burning hatred for Bakugo. I hate Bakugo. I hate bullies. I especially hate people who do the kinds of things that Bakugo did, and given that he has not actually directly owned up and apologized for his actions, and he probably won't, because that's a cultural thing when it comes to Japan, cultural differences there as far as that goes. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, Kachako is a perfectly acceptable OTP.
He's such a deep character.
But basically, eventually for Up on the Lookout, I need to get Clifford Chapin on there, because he plays Kaba and then Bakugo. I'm like, what? you get Kaba.
Ian really wanted to be Bakugo, if you recall.
I mean, yeah, eventually...
That's funny, because Kaba's basically the Deku of Universe 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to get Clifford on the podcast eventually. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Brendan Little. What if Jiro survived but only as an angry severed head? He'd be Krang. He'd basically be Krang in like the shell of Android 13 or Super Android 13. So
No, you know what would happen? He would end up in Bulma's lab, and like Bulma would keep him on shelf, and he would end up unwillingly helping and giving advice and being like.
And then basically, no, he'd be tricked into giving advice. Like Bulma would like
Yeah.
find some way of like getting around to it, and they said, "Why simple? You do this." Oh, curses! I shouldn't have said that. It's like, thanks, Jiro. He basically Old man Jiro, you're so crazy. So, alright. Silversmith, last old ask. I heard you guys had some ideas for Tarball. I remember something about that from an older live stream. Thank you. Oh, from Tarball. Basically, if we had... Oh, in short, tech guy. He's technical support. He's the guy on the going like, I'm in. That kind of person. He'd be supporting Bulma. Pretty much. Artex, hey, how are you guys? I hope you're okay. What if Toyotaro or old Team 4-Star members rewrote Dragon Ball R&R? What happened and how different this would be? Oh, man. Funny you should mention that about Dragon Ball R&R and Team 4-Star. Funny you should mention that. I'm not going to get into details right now, but it's interesting. Certain things have been said. But, yeah. So... Yeah, but anyway, basically a Toyotaro, I'd be really interested to see if that would ever happen, but honestly, it's never gonna happen. Like, honestly, if something of mine ended up in actual Super Dragon Ball Heroes or whatever, I wouldn't be able to do anything. Like, I would never be able to do anything about it, because, like, they would say, we're gonna take this because you're making videos about our IP. This is the kind of symbiote.
Yeah,
like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, people can complain about them, but I'd be like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I have the satisfaction.
Yeah, because he doesn't really have ownership over it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it would be a personal honor to know that they acknowledge my ideas, or our ideas, in the case if it's from Have, Soph, or myself. You know, it'd be nice, it'd be a good compliment, but I'd never get acknowledgement for it. And I am okay with that. That's fine. Like... I'm gonna pay close attention with the Super Saiyan 4 limit break thing, and if it looks like the Super Saiyan 5 design that Trev came up with, and we kind of conceived, then it'll be like, eh. Well, no, Yash, the thing is, though, if they took Ranch, there's nothing I can do. I can't do anything, because I don't have copyright on that. And then basically Toei's lawyers would come down saying, if you complain, we're gonna sue you. They could do that. They could totally do that. And then
it's a situation where even the stuff that you create, since it's essentially a byproduct of their IP, it could essentially be considered part of their IP. It's like, for example, if you were to take a character like Ranch, or you were to take like some of the alternative transformation designs that Have and Masako have come up with in their what ifs or their discussions, or even if you took something like my Kaioshin concept, right? They could lay claim to that and start putting it in the show, in the manga, in video games, whatever, and we would have no legal recourse.
No, basically, the only thing we could do, the only thing that could possibly happen is the fans cottoning onto it, and then basically calling them out. Yeah, and
I mean,
Dragon,
it's not like things like that didn't happen with other franchises.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's happened to my brother one time. He and one of his friends came up with the idea of like a funny picture of Venom's like symbiote outfit on a washing line. That was funny. They submitted it to Marvel. They like rejected it, and then like a couple of years later, oh, it turns up right there. Exactly the same concept. They just take it. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
These things can happen, and you just got to. If you're making videos about this thing, you just got to accept it, and then hope that the fandom could easily just call Toei and go like, "Now wait a damn minute," like, you know, call them out. Then they have to respond. But in terms of me, I couldn't do anything, and not only that, but it would also be incredibly pretentious. So yeah.
And it's one of those double-edged swords, you know, because like one part of you wants to be happy because it's like, hey, I made something that was good enough that the company wanted to steal it from me, essentially.
That's the way
but at the same time, yeah,
it's you gotta phrase it in your mind to cope with it. Yeah. Anyway, let's move.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we're getting bogged down. Gobi, what if Frieza had either offed or seemingly offed Gohan in front of Goku or Namek, albeit likely not via implosion since Gohan is more resistant? If basically Goku thought that Gohan had been killed, he would have gone Super Saiyan, no question. He was on Super Saiyan right there and then, because it's his son. So, yeah. No, so definitely, boom. Right there. Super Saiyan much sooner. Frieza probably would have stood less of a chance in a way. But yeah. Grant Emil, What if Lord Beerus decided that Frieza wasn't a good fit to replace Cole because he kept killing mortals at a higher level, and told Whis to train that other one to take over before he took another nap? So basically, it was Cooler. So basically, if they think Cooler was the more optimal fit, then if it was Beerus, then King Cold would have no choice but to say to Frieza, no, we've got to let your brother take over the reins. So basically, like, Cooler would then be brought back in, but then Cooler would be very cynical and say, you're only doing this because Beerus told you to. Like, you know, Cold would probably... I think, no, but deep down, Cooler would know. And I say, you're only bringing me back because Beerus told you to.
Yeah.
But he would take it, he would accept it.
Yeah, and Cooler isn't beyond backstabbing his father. And I think in a weird twist, like, actually Cooler would get along with Beerus.
Oh yeah, of course. I feel like because Frieza and Beerus did sort of get along, but then Beerus was like, he's too impulsive and too reckless. Look who's talking. But I think he would get on with Cooler because he'd be a bit more methodical and pragmatic.
Cooler would be a pretty decent god of destruction if you think about it.
Oh yeah, no, certainly. Really, really good. Much better than Beerus in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, Gobi, what if Gohan's emotional despair had overwhelmed his rage, resulting in him not ascending and Cell angrily and brutally offing him? Would Goku go Super Saiyan 2? No, because Goku did not have access to it yet. So basically, Goku didn't have the access to Super Saiyan 2 because he felt like he didn't need to actually master it because it would be Gohan to do the one to beat the one to do it. So I'm gonna play the sound.
And I know that there is that misconception, you know, that Goku is holding back to give Gohan a chance, but no, Gohan is stronger than Goku at this point.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
exactly.
confirmed. It is not.
Yeah, but if he couldn't go Super Saiyan 2, that would be really, really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Gobi also says, what if Gohan could talk to spiders? Well, then basically, Gohan would not need to use the Dragon Balls to summon a lot of tarantulas.
I'm just picturing that bit from the Spider-Man comic.
It's like,
I'm just picturing that bit from the Spider-Man comic where the thief is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm summoning the spiders. What do you think? I'm Spider-Man." And the villain just gives up from fear.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Spiders. Spikers. Silversmith. Think future Trunks would make it a good GOD? No. Because Trunks is the embodiment of lawful good. Like, he would not want to. He said, I don't want to be responsible for killing people, even though it'd be my job. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, he would never do that ever. That'd be against what he was fighting for. Like, you know, he would never do that. So again, I don't think he'd be a good fit. Joshua Lopez, I would love for you in your Goku voice sing Smash Mouth All-Star. Oh, well, there you go. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ate the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with a finger in the thumb in the shape of an F for freezer. There you go. Craig Twitchell. What if the Z team was recruited to fight alternate evil versions of themselves with good versions of their enemies, like in DC? You get Dragon Ball fighters, because you basically fight the evil clones of yourself. Basically. But it'd be a case of them maybe facing against their own demons in some way. So, maybe some kind of illuminating arc in some way. Kane Calcerane, what would Goku's Hatsu be in Hunter x Hunter? I actually have never seen Hunter x Hunter. I'm afraid it's something that unfortunately
neither have I.
Yeah, unfortunately, It's never really been readily accessible in the UK. But I will hopefully if it comes to Netflix or if I can get it on Crunchyroll or something like that, or if I can actually have some time, what we're looking after Puppa, I can actually catch up with Hunter x Hunter. But unfortunately, I can't answer that. But no, thanks very much for your contribution anyway, and it has motivated me to actually catch up with Hunter x Hunter. I'm going to be straight up with that. Craig Twitchell, what if Korin was a dog? Oh, Him and King Furry would go on play dates and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Is that speciest?
And then basically, no, Korin would just like say, yeah, I will only accept your training, Goku, if you bring me loads of kibble and you bring me a squirrel to chase. Although having said that, Office 1 is actually about chasing pigeons. That's her thing at the moment. She wants to chase pigeons. That's the thing. I know, Gobi, I haven't seen on Hunter x Hunter, but I'll try. Oh, Red Dragon? Is it on Netflix? Wait a minute. Let's see whether it's on UK Netflix. That's the thing. It's on UK. And I know, people, I am sponsored by NordVPN. I know. I could do that.
I was about to say, aren't you sponsored by a VPN company?
Yes, I am. I am. Let's see. Hunter. Oh, cool. The two heroes, My Hero Academia movies on here. Nice. Hunter. No, it's not. Nope. But I type Hunter x Hunter and it recommends me JoJo. And Seven Deadly Sins. And Haikyuu? What? It's like,
they just kind of lump anime all together.
Yeah,
I would say that's a bizarre coincidence.
Alright, let's carry on. Okay.
On second thought, Haverock, catch it. Catch it with your teeth.
Yay! Connor Moffat. What if Goten and Trunks got their own power-ups? What would you give them? Well, Sparking Joy and Divine Mind, maybe. I think they could be good candidates for that. Especially with Goten. He's the embodiment of joy. And then Trunks focusing stuff that would actually make him less of a tempestuous little squirt.
Also, he still technically can get Super Saiyan Rage.
Exactly. That is very true. Yash Baguri? Alright, I set some time aside for this. What if old Broly met new Broly? Still looking forward to Tournament of Power Bingo tournament finale. Yes, I am going to work on that, by the way. I need to actually make sure that I can actually have a good thing. And I will show a video of Alpha in that, just to kind of show why it's taken so long to actually do. So, you'll see the reason, and it's because Papa. So, people can't get mad about Papa. So there you go. But if old Broly met new Broly, I feel like there'd be some kind of connection in a way, because, it's the same type of energies, the same type of background, and Broly, the old Broly, when he's not raged up, is perfectly amiable, and, he does listen to people, just don't let him near Kakarot. But, I feel like the new Broly could probably calm him down, and, kind of give him someone to talk to. So I think...
The way you guys did old Broly in the TFS version of that reminded me so much of like, I literally thought the first time I heard his voice, I'm like, what are they doing here? Broly as played by Michael Cera?
Well, the idea, there was one original idea, which basically like having Paragus as being that one person at convention. It's like, my son Broly is a big fan of yours, Vegeta. He would very much like you to say the thing that you say. Yeah, come on, say I'm the hype. It's like, I'm not saying it. Come on, I want you to say it. Say I'm the hype. No, I'm not going to say it. And then eventually Goku would be the one saying like, guys, this guy is really dumb. It's like, what? Dad? What are you saying? No, seriously. He's like really dumb. Dad, Mom doesn't like us to swear. I know, but guys, he's dumb. It's like, wow, that's a lot for you saying that, Goku. I know, right? Wow, that kind of just flew over your head, didn't it? Yup. I don't know why I tried, but this is utterly hilarious. Okay. Gorilla Geek 27. What if Ultra Instinct made Goku forget his morals? Honestly, that's the whole point. Ultra Instinct is meant to be about instinct, not taking emotions and morals into account. So basically,
Yeah.
if it was just, instinct, you would
It's
get
your
the job
body
done.
defending without your brain. essentially.
Exactly. If it was what it was intended to do, Ultra Instinct would be even more badass. So, Gorilla Geek, you've hit the nail on the head there. Absolutely. Mortune Zurix, what if Arale was a Z-Fighter and not a gag character? Well, unfortunately, her moveset would still mean that she could basically crack a planet in half with one punch. So basically, she'd be one punch lass. Pretty much.
Nice.
She would be basically that. Heartless Fang, what if Shenron went on vacation for 5 years? You get Shenron's brother. Benron.
Benron.
Benron from accounting.
Benjamin Ron, but you can call,
Shit.
you can call me Benron.
Shin wrong.
Oh.
Uh,
Jim Ron.
and Jim Ron. And,
Jim Ron. Sorry.
And Suzy Ron, his sister, Suzy Ron.
No, Sean Ron. Sean Ron. That's it. Sean Ron.
Sean Ron. Oh my god.
And Sharon, his aunt.
Sharon.
That's the one.
Guys,
That's the one.
I wish for you to meet my parents, Sean Ron and Sharon. Sharon. I almost dropped an F-bomb. Sharon and Sean Ron. Okay, alright. Let's continue. Okay. Nick Wolf. What if the Dragon Team fought Baby Vegeta Black? And then Gobi says Jontron.
Excuse me.
Alright, Nick. Okay. What if the Dragon Team fought Baby Vegeta Black? Basically, I'm gonna probably play the sound because, the Potara would break, sure, but that power level would be increasingly immense. So, yeah, the Dragon Team would be screwed. Brandon Little, what if Zamasu and Dekraft were in a situation that dictated that they work with Goku and Vegeta? Would there be a chance for mutual respect, or would it result in Mean Girls level of snark between Jeets and Zamasu and Dekraft?
I mean, Dekraft would get along with Goku and Vegeta, like, he's not mean-spirited, I would say. But, like, with Zamasu, like he doesn't plan to exterminate anyone. So I think that could work. Like, it would be a cold alliance, but I don't even think that like, at this point of the story, Zamasu is smart enough to, like, if somebody is willing to help him, or, he needs that help, he wouldn't be too mean,
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. No, definitely. Paparacha, what if Imperfect Cell went to Penguin Village? Oh, seriously. Like, I can imagine Arale, because, ew, gross bug, pulls out a giant magnifying glass. Just like, and then basically just like, no! So basically you just get Imperfect Cell running around Penguin Village and Arale just running, come in, Mr. Bug! With this giant magnifying glass. So basically, that's how it would be. They play up the bug element immensely. And Arale carrying this 50-foot magnifying glass. That's the way I'd see it.
Oh my gosh.
And, yeah, basically, NordVPN, I will try and get Hunter x Hunter via American NordVPN. There you go. Craig Twitchell, what if Cell had Jiro's DNA as well as the Ginyu Force? Well, Cell would do a lot more posing, that's for sure. And Jiro, he would have a great big grey beard. Because Jiro...
A great big bushy beard!
A great big bushy beard! Yeah.
And he had a certain fondness for baggy pants.
Yes, exactly. Baggy pants. Yeah, Cell would be wearing baggy pants. And they're part of his skin. CC Rice, here's two from a first timer. Welcome. What if Black was Goten? There'd be like loads of emo edgelord elements right there for a start, and also, obviously it would give Goten some sort of relevance in some way in the future. And what if Dr.
It could be a good it could be good, but pretty edgy narrative.
It would be very edgy. Like if this was done in early 2000s, it would be absolutely brilliant. But nowadays, a bit contrived. But what if Dr. Gero was the strongest android? Thematically, it would make sense having that connection back to Dragon Ball, but at the same time, it'd be like, really? The bad guy is an old man? But then again, Super Dragon Ball Heroes is doing that with Dr. W. I wonder who Dr. W is. Because seriously,
It's clearly Dr. Wily, and they're doing a crossover with Mega Man,
but
Masako.
seriously, everybody on the internet's going like, comicbook.com going like, who could this mysterious Dr. W be? It's Dr. Wheelo! Because they're talking about all these movie villains coming back, and then Dr. W. It's Dr. Flippin' Wheelo! It's just, you see the version of him with not being a brain in the jar. And admittedly, that design is actually really cool. The design is actually really good. All right.
I actually like the design, and I'm actually pretty thrilled at the idea of them repurposing movie villains into characters that might be in some way cool. I do think it's a little bit obvious, and the fact that so many people are playing up like it almost makes me be like, are they being serious right now? Do they not realize who this character most likely is?
I don't think they do.
Yeah. Okay, John Coleman, on behalf of Kong Throntron. What if Goku became the king of Earth? He'd be a terrible king, but at the same time, pork prices would go way down.
Bacon for everybody!
He'd be like Goku becoming king would be much the same as like Robert Baratheon becoming king in Game of Thrones. Everybody likes him, but he's not a good ruler, and that'll be made prevalent very clearly very soon.
Popular,
and
but
Goku would
incompetent.
invite Kevin Bacon to be his royal artist.
I mean, come on, with the name Bacon in it, that's like, how could you go wrong with that?
But Chi-Chi, the guy name is Bacon.
Oh my god, stop.
Yeah,
Just stop.
Alright, Gobi. Instead of a new sibling, what if Goku had a Saiyan granny who survived? What if she went to Earth with him or met him later on? That'd actually be really cool. Like this, you get this aged old Saiyan who, through traveling through space, has found a way to live for a longer time, and she's basically like, she was like wanting. She basically just like has a stick, constantly whacks Goku on the shin. Basically, now you're doing it wrong, Goku Kakarot. It's like, oh come on, Granny, I'm doing it the way I can. You don't talk to your granny like that. It's like, yeah, okay. So basically just like having this like, having this shrunken Saiyan basically being stronger than she looks. And like being like, oh man, Roshi is like, heh, looks like somebody's coming to get a bit of a challenge, a bit old, but I like her, she's feisty. It's like, finally, somebody around here is similar to my age. I mean, still a couple 100 years younger, but I don't mind. Sorry, that was
Grandmother Ternipa.
Oh, Turnipa.
Ternipa.
That's a good name.
Turnipa.
Nice. Yeah, and then basically, she would go, Raditz was my favorite. Just constantly be the one, like, she liked Raditz more.
He had those beautiful hair. I love his hair.
I love the idea of a Saiyan granny because it's so unique because everybody wants Bardock or Gine back or maybe Vegeta's parents or Vegeta's mom or do like the Broly thing. But the idea of having like an aged Saiyan, like somebody who was probably around even before like Vegeta's dad's rule, just like come down and be like not only powerful because they're a Saiyan compared to Earthlings, but also just be this snarky, so done with your BS old person. It's just a fantastic character concept.
Yeah,
Goku's clan has got it going on.
Yeah, and then basically she's the one that she like Raditz more, and she's so old she has no filter. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cray Twitchell. What if Izaru was only one moon from form transformation? Only one moon form transformation.
So every single moon.
So basically, if you have more moons, you have another transformation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That would be
Kind of like
the
in Werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
In the tabletop RPG Werewolf, your werewolf form is determined by which moon you transformed during.
AKA the worst World of Darkness setting. Don't at me. But also something kind of like the Khajiit.
Yeah, also like the Khajiit. Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah.
Fortune Zurix. What if Cooler was pure-hearted? So basically, what if Cooler turned good? I don't really know. Maybe the only way that I could see that working is that in all that time on his own, he basically fostered a resentment and basically wanted to find a way to bring down the Cold Empire. So basically,
I think that's the best. Yeah,
that's the best.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, Havers, and that's the most likely scenario.
Yeah, the best scenario, like the closest scenario, is that Cooler would be somewhat go into a hit direction. He would hit. You know? Like.
No,
I always kind of got the idea. That Hit was kind of like a precursor or even prototype concept that was sort of inspired by Cooler as far as the movies go. Like I always kind of felt like they didn't know whether, because DBS Broly hadn't come out yet, so they didn't know whether or not bringing back movie villains was going to be a profitable excursion. So they made a character who was kind of inspired by one of the movie villains, and that's kind of what Hit is.
I always felt that it was their way to do a Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John Coleman, on behalf of NMH, what if Trunks had a lightsaber? Oh.
Then he would be Kirito in Gun Gale Online.
There you go. There's your answer, John. Two-Face Bob, what if Chi-Chi was a Z-Fighter? I will keep this very short because we do have this quite a bit. She would, the relationship between her and Gohan would be way more understanding. She would have a better understanding about what is the pride of fighting. And basically the relationship between her and Goku would be all the more harmonious. Because she would actually understand. So there you go. Grant Emil, what if Goku was raised by Hercule? Would his name be Hercule Jr.? Of course it would be, because Hercule is that egocentric. He's like, why? I got a strong boy, baby boy. I'm gonna name him Hercule Jr. Or Hercule.
But first of all, remember that Hercule is about Vegeta's age, so he would be like only a few years older.
Oh, okay. So basically, if he just decided, well, no, he would still call him Hercule Jr. if he was like 5 years old. You know, still this young little toddler with an afro and a mustache. I'm gonna call him Hercule Jr. And basically,
oh my gosh.
And then it became the Kamina Shimon type thing from Gurren Lagann. Don't worry, Hercule Jr. You believe in the me that believes in the you. There you go. I don't know how to pronounce that. Or Yuxin? Or Yuxin? Sorry. I think that's Hebrew. Can you let me know how you pronounce that? Oh no, that's Greek. That's Greek. Sorry. If only Philly was here, she studied Greek, so I wouldn't. But either way, let's get this. It's a Guinea spin-off. Raditz and launch exploring space. Sometimes making it into canon. More in-depth comment on the Guinea finale vid if you wish. Thanks for great times. Oh, thanks very much. I mean, in a way, I can imagine that sort of happening, like, in the fullness of time. Like, Guinea would go into space with Raditz to go on a visit. Like, Raditz would just come, hey, Mom, you want to come into space? You know, say, Sure. Having this little adventure, probably a little mini arc where Gine saves the day from like an evil like race and stuff, and then Raditz gets to see her in her element, that kind of stuff. You know, having time to actually get to know her daughter-in-law, that could be kind of cute. And more baiting about the fact, you know, Raditz, I would always love to have a granddaughter. Yeah, I know, Mom, but you know, Launch doesn't want that kind of thing, and I respect that. So I'm afraid that you're not going to have a child, I'm afraid. You're going to have to deal with that from Kakarot. So basically just dangling that over.
In the What If Gine timeline, though, and this is going to sound like heresy, because everybody knows that I am deeply, deeply entrenched in Broly and Chilai being a couple. But what if in the Gine timeline, when Raditz becomes Freedom Fighter Raditz, he hooked up with Chilai?
Oh. Was he hooked up with Chilai if he and Launch broke up?
Well, no, because see, here's the thing: is in the Gine timeline, he doesn't necessarily have to hook up with Launch. Now, I'm not sure if that's what you Witten did in yours, because I'm not caught up with it, but I actually think that Raditz would do more good not joining the main crew of the Z Fighters in that particular timeline.
Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
And they would have a little child.
No, they don't. They don't have a kid. They don't. Basically, now after
I think about Raditz Chilai pairing.
Oh no! After the Cell games, Raditz just goes, and then Launch goes like, "No, you don't. I'm coming with you. I want to see space." And then basically their relationship is friends with benefits.
I see. Yeah, I didn't catch up to that part because I've been way behind on my my What If watching lately.
Worry.
I wanted to kind of set up a backlog for when I go to work.
No, there'll be plenty more of that. All right, let's see, Jesse Goff. What if a warrior Namekian came to recruit the nameless Namekian instead of Raditz coming to recruit Kakarot? We know they were capable of spaceflight. Oh no! Oh, it's Psy. Oh, that's how you say that. As you pronounce it, Psy. Okay, or Psyche. Oh, Psyche. Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Came to recruit the nameless Namekian instead of Raditz coming to recruit Kakarot. So basically, if a warrior Namekian came to then recruit and then finds Piccolo, basically 2 warrior Namekians. But yeah. I feel like it would have really blown open the door and actually given Piccolo a big... Basically, that first saga would have been about him discovering that he's not a demon and that he's a slug man. So actually, that would have been really interesting for Piccolo to get some depth before Goku does. And then, like, you know, then Goku gets it. So basically, hey, cool, we're space buds. We came from space. I don't know what to think about that, Goku. Come on, dude, we're space bros. I really...
Space. Gotta go to space.
I gotta go to
space.
Gotta
go to space. Space!
Yeah. But in all seriousness, Jesse, it would be mainly more along the lines of, like, it would give Piccolo some more depth before Goku, which would be interesting. Column, have you seen Dragon Ball Rise? I'm afraid not, Column. I will get to that when I can, but again, Puppa's been really, really taking up a lot of time. I'm sorry, Column. But I promised everybody more puppy pictures. There will be more puppy pics. I will make that. That's true. Red Dragon Force, did I check out that Zex animation thing? I did check out a little bit, but again, Puppy's been taking up a lot of time. But I do have that bookmarked, just so you know. Craig Twitchell, what if Goku had a twin sister the same age as him and was sent to Earth with him and were both found by Grandpa Gohan? They'd be raised together. Maybe the twin sister probably would want to have some kind of, like, differentiation or something between Goku in some way. I don't know what their name would be. I mean, it's kind of hard to say on the fly, but I imagine they'd just be raised together, and then when Grandpa Gohan got squished, then they probably just raise each other up together, maybe. Just have that way they actually become brother and sister, and they have to fend themselves in the forest. There'd be a cute little plot where basically the twin sister gets very jealous of Bulma, tries to attack Bulma, and then basically just, like, yeah, that misunderstanding type thing. So I can imagine that happening. Luis Suazo, what if Super Kaioken 1 and 2 instead of Super Saiyan 3? So basically, if Super Kaioken was the thing, it would completely negate the whole idea of what makes Kaioken work. Because Super Saiyan is meant to be based on rage, as is Kaioken. So you can't double stack it unless you're in the other world, where physical limitations doesn't really matter. But basically, if you had the Super Kaioken, it wouldn't really last for long, at best 2 seconds before you get torn apart. But at the same time, the whole concept of Kaioken is kind of negated by Super Saiyan. So it doesn't really work. I mean, I imagine on Earth in the physical world, you try and do it, but nothing would happen.
Well, and here's the real thing you got to remember is that Kaioken is an amplifier of whatever your current form is. So if you take Super Saiyan, right? Yes, Super Saiyan includes a physical transformative aspect that increases the power, but it adapts it for the boost granted by Super Saiyan. If you then stack a Kaioken on top of that, you would definitely be going way beyond what that body's physical capabilities would be prepared for. So you would still need a further transformative aspect, which for all intents and purposes you probably wouldn't be able to do once you've gone into Kaioken, especially once you've gone into Super Saiyan, because we know that a lot of these transformative type techniques are incompatible. Right? Like if you transform in, if you want to consider something like the ultimate thing, a transformation, right, for Gohan, especially with how it's being portrayed in Super right now. If you want to consider that a transformation, it's incompatible with Super Saiyan. You know, you have these other transformations that are incompatible with Super Saiyan. So that's why you wind up, if you wanted to utilize Kaioshin as an ability, you'd have to do something with it similar to what I did in my What If, and you'd have to make it its own special thing combined with a physically transformative technique. That's one of the reasons why when I created Kaioshin, what I did was I combined Kaioken with Roshi's full power, because it makes the physical body more capable of handling the increased strain of heightened ki energy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I totally agree with that, because it's just that whole paradox.
And sorry guys, I know that we are past this question, but I got the name Son Wukka.
Ah, Son Wukka. Ah, not bad.
Because Son Goku and Son Wukka.
Nice, not bad. APC218, got another enemy Goku, especially wouldn't enjoy fighting. An opponent made of pins and needles. Will he fight or flee? Oh, fighting a Razorhead. Oh, Goku would probably he would probably run. And that would actually be the ultimate villain, where Goku's just scared to touch him because it's needles.
There is a Marvel character like that called Penance.
Well, there you go. Grant Emil, what if young Vegeta got amnesia and Nappa said, "Hey, Nappa Jr., I'm your daddy now." Like,
oh, no.
If young Vegeta, he would do that. Like, say, hey Vegeta, hey, Nappa Jr., look what daddy did. I'm gonna shave your hair. But Daddy Nappa, you can't shave
That's the real
hair. Watch me try.
That's the real reason that Vegeta kills Nappa on Earth, is because his memories come back.
Yeah. Gobi. What if Super Saiyan 4 was a powerful lost form that was known to ancient Saiyans? And what if Yamoshi's Super Saiyan God had combined with it? Well, the power would have been mighty and probably would have actually been really good and probably would have won against the ancient evil Saiyans. But again, he didn't. He lost very badly. But in terms of Super Saiyan 4, if it was a form lost to time, that would be a really good connection to ancient Saiyans and probably bring them back to relevance, certainly. So that would be one of the best ways to bring them back, to connect them to ancient Saiyans, certainly. So basically, okay. Papa Podo, what if Planet Vegeta activated Mirror Force? Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh card. So basically, like Planet Vegeta, it's like the Uno reverse card. So, Frieza then sends the Death Ball down to the planet, but then it gets rolled back with a reverse card. Yeah, granted, it probably would hurt. It would probably destroy Frieza because he wouldn't transform in time. So that power would have actually destroyed Frieza. Oops.
They activate Mirror Force. Frieza's response. Oh, that's a new one.
Oh,
Then the ship blows
let's
up.
use the sound.
I'm sorry, that's a new one.
Boom! Yeah. APC 218. Ultra Instinct Shaggy's got me thinking. Who would win in an eating contest between Goku, Luffy, and Shaggy? Probably Luffy, because he is basically made out of rubber. How did that happen?
I don't know the first thing about Luffy, but I'd say that between Goku and Shaggy, it would definitely be Shaggy.
Yeah. Like, Goku would get it spirited and stuff, but Luffy, he's got, like, rubber, so yeah, there you go. He wouldn't explode. Craig Twitchell, what if Kami gender swapped everyone for the lols? It would be some lols. It would be certainly some lols, but basically, like we've said with a lot of characters, the thing is, though, a good character, their gender does not matter. Like, it doesn't define who they are. And if you change it, it's mainly about the personality and their actions. They just so happen to be a particular gender. That's the thing. That's the best thing.
Mr. Popo, I want to do something for the lols, as the young people say.
Oh yeah, I can get behind that. Lol. Yes, exactly.
Lol.
How do you do these lols? Oh, don't worry, Kami. I'll gladly show you. Just do this, and you will have a great amount of lols. So, pretty much like that. Kami was led in some way. Silversmith. What if Future Trunks and Future Ranch were like the Apocalypse Prevention Squad? They don't mess around. They draw out the fight. They get straight to business. That's probably what they do, because Trunks is like that. Ranch would be certainly like that too, because again, doing what Trunks would do, but also do it in a really way that would kick ass. Because again, I mean, I know Future Ranch isn't a brick like adult present Ranch, but still pretty powerful, still pretty potent, very much more in terms of agility. So, again, they would get results because they're not Vegeta. There you go.
Hey!
But it's true. Yeah, you know what? It's not inaccurate, but I'm still insulted. Red Dragon Force 2. What if Bardock's teammates waited for him to recover before going off to what was their eventual ambush? Got the idea from the chat. Well, if they did, and Bardock went with them, like, just because, probably they would probably be able to put up a decent fight against Dodoria. Like, probably the 5 of them led by Bardock, like, probably would at least get Dodoria to retreat. But then basically that probably would have sped up Frieza destroying Vegeta. So there's sort of like give and take. Paparazzo, what if Goku beat Tien? Well, if he did, then probably... Ooh. I don't think it would really matter too much in the fullness of time, because it was actually a really strong fight and really, really one for the ages. So I think really it would have been really, really intense. And I think at that, the thing was though, you then eventually got like Krillin dying. Then it was like that was a big deal. So I think ultimately that the winner wouldn't really that matter as much as not nearly as much if Goku defeated Roshi.
Yeah, the character, the character development would be the same for both Tien and Goku in that, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just got the artwork for tomorrow's video, which is Future Gohan Survived Part 7. So just got the artwork for that. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright. So let's just say APC 218. On top of giving Moro a heavily Scottish accent, he could bleat every time he laughed since he's a ram. Oh yeah, of course. Instead of it's like there's like
You could make sounds like those fake screaming goats on the internet.
I love that screaming goat baby that basically goes, meow. Don't shout of your mother. Meow. You find that funny? Just like that, that's funny. Gobi, what if a Teenage Canon or DBZA Gohan met the Gohan from Super SBN3 Saiyaman Saga was sick? How do you think they might deal with one another? I'm afraid I don't know what that one is, Gobi. I'm afraid. I'm really not au fait with that one, to be honest. I'm sorry. Gobi, you come up with some really deep cuts that I don't.
Say the question again.
Gohan from SBN3 Saiyaman Saga was sick. So again, I don't really know about that. I'm afraid.
know.
I really don't know.
Yeah.
Is it that some of the Super Budot and What If stories?
I don't know. I think it might be
The Super Butoden?
It might be Super Butoden.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm afraid I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not familiar with the what ifs that came out of the video games, mostly just because I've played such a limited number of them.
Yeah, sorry about that, Gobi. I'm just being totally honest. I'm not going to BS you with an answer or anything like that. I'm just going to say, no, I straight up don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, no, we don't try and BS you.
We will research on this. Just,
Yeah.
unabbreviate the shortcuts and we will do research for the next.
Cool. Okay. But yeah, thanks, Gobi. Ninja Work, what if Goku was locked in Super Saiyan Blue Ultra Instinct for the entirety of Z, so the show turns into Goku trying not to destroy the world with every punch? Well, basically, I feel like Goku would have some sense of control, but at the same time, you just have the Saitama effect. So you just have, like, Goku then kind of slowly going crazy that he can't touch anything without it blowing up. So it'd certainly be something, it'd be a weird and wacky situation.
It will be more peril, but in a place that you wouldn't.
You need more peril in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Great Twitcher. What if Jiro was on Namek? There's no technology there. He would struggle very hard because he'd be just there and he has no technology. So
he'd be doing the whole what's that anime with them trying to recreate the modern era after the big petrification thing, Dr. Stone. He'd be doing the Dr. Stone thing and trying to create technology on a technologyless planet.
Yeah, exactly. Paparazzo, what if Goku's pod crashed through the lookout? I doubt it's sturdy enough to stop one. Well, you'd be surprised. It can take a lot of beating. So basically, if he went straight through, Kami would probably keep tabs on that kid. Eventually, maybe try and find him a good home. But then again, Grandpa Gohan would come along. But it would certainly bring Goku to Kami's attention much sooner, especially if it crashes through his home. And it broke Popo's stuff. Yeah, Goku immediately arriving on planet Earth broke the sixth rule of Popo's training. Ortello, what if Bulma turned herself into an android or cyborg after the Cell arc? Probably there'd be a reason, like maybe she wants to try and find out how Jiro's technology works, but then at the same time, maybe she would think, oh, well, that might slow down the aging process, because she's really reliant on that. So,
hey, Trunks, mother, where are you? And I turned myself into an android, Trunks. I'm Android Bulma.
It's like, is there a It's like, Mom, is there a camera? No, seriously, just like peek behind the curtain. The payoff's gonna be really worth it. I turned myself into an android, Trunks. Boom! There you go. Yeah. Blake Diamond. What if Z, Broly, and Paragus crash landed on Earth during the 5 years between Deep Dragon Ball Z, but Broly was angry at Frieza instead of Kakarot? Well, they would have found out certainly more about the Saiyan race, that's for sure. And having that connection. Zek animations, I've watched a little bit of it, but I have got it bookmarked, just so you know. But I imagine probably in short, the Dragon team would have found out about the Saiyans much sooner, and they probably would have trained together to eventually stop Frieza. And then Goku would have learned about the Saiyans in a much more, like, calm down setting, maybe? Billy Thriller, what if Goku was trained in the Crane style instead? Well, him and Ten Shinhan would have become, like, allies in crime, certainly. And basically
we get this one a lot.
Yeah, we really do, but basically Goku's morals would be much more sinister, much more ruthless. And he would certainly and instead of the Kamehameha, he would know the Dodon Ray.
It would really also, I think a lot of it would also depend on how long and if he was still raised by Grandpa Gohan before joining the martial arts school, because if he joined the Crane School but still had the morals and ethics that Grandpa Gohan had taught him ingrained to him, I could see him getting like dis. I could see him training there at first being fine with it, but then like the more he realizes that this is a school that has like a lot of really messed up values and they train like assassins and stuff like that, he'd be against that.
Yeah.
And it would probably lead him and he'd probably try to convince Tien and Chaozu to not be there anymore, and they'd eventually leave.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Papa Archer then says, there was a misstep training my dogs, now they slap me for treats. That's funny. They slap you and go, hey, where's my treats? That's funny. Champion of Unity. What if Super 17 happened in Z? Please don't. Please don't. No. I would stop watching. Because Super 17, oh no. Well, the thing is, though, we would have barely understood about... Yay, we reached 100 likes. Yay!
Yay.
Awesome. But basically, if that happened in Z, we barely understood what 17 and 18 was. So we then had a second 17 to make Super 17. It'd be like, what are we seeing? We wouldn't understand it, even less so than in GT. But I guess maybe that would be an alternative final boss instead of Cell? Maybe? John Coleman, what if the Tuffles colonized Earth before their war with the Saiyans? Well, in terms of the fact they basically look like humans and they have technology, you wouldn't really see much of a difference, to be honest.
They're slightly shorter. They're slightly shorter.
Well, yeah, but slightly shorter. That's it. There you go.
Well, that would also explain the Briefs family. I mean, when you look at it, like Dr. Briefs is a fairly short individual, and they're all geniuses. So, for all we know, who knows? Maybe the Tuffles did have some colony pods that went out and intermingled. Bulma half Tuffle.
Yeah.
Or at least, or even just descended from a line of Tuffles.
Right. Yeah, no, of course.
You could actually utilize that concept as part of like a narrative if you wanted to retool Baby for a storyline, right? Like part of the reason Baby might have an interest in Earth is because somewhere up the genetic tree, humanity has Tuffle ancestry, which means that it would be the most prime opportunity for rebirthing the Tuffle race, you know?
Yeah.
We kind of did
using science
in our discussion lately.
Yeah. Oh, I by the way, YouTube swallowed up some of the what ifs, so basically I'm going to rattle through these ones. They weren't before. Papa Archer, what if Goku lost by ring out to Piccolo? Piccolo would still go after Goku because it doesn't really matter. But then ultimately, because of Piccolo's conduct, he would get disqualified, so Goku would win by default. Pretty much that. Shot Jumping Walrus says, if you wanted to introduce Kitsune to the Dragon Ball series, how would you write them? Oh, they would basically be some type of kind of Kitsune, kind of like weird kind of cultural thing. Like, kind of like fox demons, like within the certain...
I'd have them be a school of martial arts similar to the transformation schools that were introduced with Oolong and Puar.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's kind of one of the big Kitsune powers in lore is illusion and transformation.
Yeah, so basically just more of like of schoolmates of Puar and Oolong, pretty much. Have that. Papa Archer then says, what if Roshi bathed in a Jusunkyo style Spirit of the Drowned Saiyan in his youth?
Oh gosh. Ranma 1/2 stuff, huh?
Oh. Well, then basically he would turn into the most polite type of guy in the world, so it'd be like a polarity of what he is. So he turns into like the sweet, caring grandfather, and basically every time he falls in like cold water. So, in hot water. Sorry. So basically, yeah, it'd be that. Cray Twitchell then would say, "What if Frieza fused with Jiro?" Well, check out what if Frieza and Jiro teamed up, and you would basically sort of get your answer there. I would say. Then the next one is Bombastic Blake Diamond. What if Gohan became a high school delinquent, but he was a friendly delinquent, like Gentaro from Kamen Rider Forza? Oh, okay, so one that looks like a delinquent, but basically if you get to know him, so almost like Josuke from JoJo. So basically, like, he has this, like, hard shell that, but if you got to know him, he's actually kind of a softie. So basically,
isn't that kind of the backstory for Great Teacher Onizuka? Do we get a Great Teacher's son Gohan?
Like, yeah, Great Teacher Son Gohan, pretty much. It's just like, yeah, it's just having that vibe of like you think he's scary, but he actually isn't. So yeah, I think it'd be like Nick Wolf. Vegeta's Queen song would be Princess of the Universe, but he would rewrite it as a solo version, Prince of the Universe. That's a good idea too.
Yeah,
that would definitely be good. Raikou and Isaigana. What if Goku and Chi-Chi had birthed Pan as their daughter instead of Goten? Probably not that much difference. Maybe initially Chi-Chi would have been a bit more like, Goku, I have a little girl. I want, you do not get to train this one. But basically, I can imagine them doing the whole, like, Goku going like, come on, Pan. Come on, baby Pan. What do you want to do? You want to go with mommy or daddy? That kind of thing. Using that kind of tactics and stuff. I can imagine.
Oh God.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Playing Pan off of each other. That kind of stuff. Vulcan. In the Nappa what if Tien never left the Z Fighters with never turning evil and Piccolo absorbs Nail? What would change? Both are still part of the story. Okay. So basically, if Ten Shinhan, after becoming Margin, is revived and then comes back with them, and then Piccolo does absorb Nail, would anything change? Ten Shinhan...
I think it would be just more similar to the original timeline, which is the reason why we did it in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly. We're trying to make it different. So unfortunately, it would sort of blend it back in again, which is sort of something we don't really want to do. Vulcan. What if Android 13 was a cyborg and turned good? Well, he is sort of quite debonair and very sophisticated and suave. But basically, if he was a cyborg with more humanistic tendencies, he basically just want to have like a Ford F-150 pickup truck and just travel the, put on some tunes, be in his F-150, and just, ride into the sunset with my $30 haircut. There you go. Paparazza. His My Hero Academia pairing is Bakuneta.
I think that's a joke because I'm pretty certain that stands for Bakugo and Mineta, and
well, Bakugo gets it because that's what he deserves.
Let's gender flip Mineta and make it an actually interesting character. I actually have a lot of feelings about the fic community and how they tend to just completely erase Mineta or have him like be expelled or something like that, because yes, he is an absolute creep, and as he is designed by Horikoshi, he's not a very fun character, particularly for Western audiences who don't have as much of appreciation for pervert comedy as Japan does. But I always like to approach the character of Mineta from a direction of, how can we write him to be a better, more fleshed out, more three-dimensional character, rather than just write him out of the story altogether? And some of my ideas involve gender flipping them. Some of my ideas involve just like, actually having them, like, I don't know, get therapy for their problems or something. But yeah, honestly, let's say that Bakugo, female Mineta, go. Write a fic about it. I'll read it.
And then it basically becoming, we're very proud of you for seeking help. So, it's like, I did it for me, but I appreciate the support. Okay. Right. Next one is Nindo. What if Goten was taken serious and became the new main character? Trunks would be the new Vegeta, more or less. Well, that's sort of what we're doing in R&R. Basically giving him much more of a presence and actually giving him something. So basically, that's what you're getting. I would just say basically he would just like have this idea of finding his own place in life. Yeah, basically.
I love R&R Goten, especially his new design, and of course Jenna voices Goten so spectacularly.
Yeah.
I love R&R Goten.
I've said to Jenna if I would want a voicing female Goku if we ever did it. So,
yes!
Gohan, that would be really cool.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
It would make total sense. Lord Giga Ice, what if AT had been allowed to make Android 19 and Kira Toriyama had been allowed to make Android 19 and Dr. Gero the main villains of what became the Android Cell Sagas? Well, unfortunately, if they had ended up being the main villains, they would have been off like really quickly, and it would have been a very anticlimactic arc.
Or they would overstate their welcome.
Yeah, exactly. And then
or they would get a lot of weird transformations, like even baggier pants.
Or they would have fused together. There you
Look
go.
at my... Beware, Son Goku, this is my green trousers form.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you've got to be very careful with that one. Vulcan, what if Dr. Wheeler was part of the Red Ribbon Army? Well, he probably would be the much more reserved and like much more sane version of the Red Ribbon Army mad scientist. I mean, I must admit, in the big green dub, the Dr. Wheeler voice is actually kind of good because he sounds like a very bored scientist. Tell me, who is the Earth's strongest man?
Who is the strongest man?
Who is the strongest man?
Well, that's a stupid question. Son Goku, is it? Son Goku? Yes, Son Goku.
Son
Goku.
Goku.
Son Goku. Sorry, Hav and I will be just talking about Big Green all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd be the saner version of the Gero, really. And Mortune Zurix gets, can I hear her? Well, marketing! Man, it's been a while since I said that. It's been a long time, but I've actually been trying to hold back from saying it because I don't want to overuse it. So, but yeah, there's a marketing. Vulcan. What if Arasa was the daughter of Tien and Launch? Oh, secret child from Tenshinhan and Launch, like unbeknownst. I mean, it'd be an interesting twist, but to be honest, it'd be a bit of a shoehorn and a bit contrived. But in terms of like, I mean, where's her third eye? There you go.
She's hiding. It's hidden below her. She always had it.
And then Vulcan asks, Tenshinhan and Launch's son name would be Future Video? I don't really know what their name would be. Tenshinhan and Launch. I don't really know.
My brain is already working. Wait.
Yeah, we'll come back to you with that, Vulcan.
Yeah.
Blake Diamond, what if Gine and Kakarot landed at Capture Corp? Probably they would have a bed and board and stuff like that. Sort of similar to what we do with what if Goku landed at Capture Corp. Just Gine would be there with Punchy and they'd be friends and stuff. So, be like that. And Vulcan's then asking, when's the next part of the Hercule story? Probably maybe in August. Ginyu Force Part 2, and then Boxer, the next part of the Boxer story. So probably maybe August or something. Probably we'll look to August. Yash Baguri, hey Masako, just confirming if you got an email with my Dragon Ball project script as well as a little tribute to Dragon Ball Strongest Mama. I hope you liked them. Yeah, I did Yash, but I'm gonna be trying to spend some of the weekend getting it back with some of my emails because I got a bit of a backlog. But I do see your email, Yash, so but very much thank you for that. And Frightful Fawn, what if Goku lost to Frieza or Namek? Playing the sound. If Goku lost, that pretty much would have been it, because Frieza could breathe in space, Namek would have blown up, he would have gone after Earth and finished everybody else off. But again, depends on one Trunks. But it wouldn't be good for Goku. That's what I'm going to say. And with that, we are done for today. So thank you all for your contributions, and thank you, Hav and Sophie, for your work as well.
Thank you.
And all that remains to be said is look forward to tomorrow's video, which will be What If Future Gohan Survived Part 7, where he gets a bit of a helping hand from somebody. Or
Before we
something.
go, I have the name. Ganjin.
Ganjin. What's that?
Yeah. It's, well, of course, reference to launching and guns, and to Tianjin, which is one of the names, like Tenshin has names after Tenshin-don, which is a Japanese Chinese specialty. Coming from the city of Tianjin. So I combined guns and Tianjin. Ganjin.
Okay. No, that's good. That should work there. So there you go, everybody. Hope you all have a good night and have a good weekend. If you're out there working, do stay safe and just look after yourselves. We're all in this together. And we really appreciate the support that you do give the channel. It really helps. That means we can continue to be Dragon Ball nerds for you guys. So anyway, take care, everybody. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.